Perfect. And we are live on the tube. Do I have two mics going?
God bless you.
Yep, it looks like I do. Whoopsie daisies.
God bless you.
Thank you, Chris, for the hand heart. I appreciate you. Welcome into the show, Defend the Indefensible, episode 96. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Black Boy Joy? I don't even know who that is. Black Boy Joy. Black Boy Joy. Once Erica gets in here, I should hit her. What do you mean, boy? Who you calling boy?
God bless you.
Welcome into the show, Defend the Indefensible, where Trump supporters come up and do what they do best. Regardless, I'm putting my most faithful foot forward, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm begging for some half-decent, reasonable conversations this evening. Excuse me. Yeah, it's 5:02. This evening. So with that being said, going to need you guys to do a couple of things while you're here. Double tap that screen until the heart bar gets full. Send your daily heart me's if you haven't already. Share out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost and add to your story. Thank you, Jordan, for the mustaches. Hat and mustaches. America. I'm not going to do it for all of them while I do the PSA. And do all the good things while you're here. Those of you on the YouTube side, hit the like button on the stream. But despite everything going on in the world, despite the seemingly unwavering, unapologetic, unconditional support that the Republican Party seems to have from its base, there are more and more people who are finally going, this is not what I voted for. This isn't doing any good for the country. Maybe we got something wrong. And the whole purpose of this live is to create a space for those individuals to come up here and express all the reasons why they have decided to remove themselves from the MAGA plantation, from the Trump plantation of misinformation, of disinformation, of gaslighting, top tier narcissism, as Erica would put it. And this is the space for you to come up here and express exactly why. So if you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, call in a request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. And if you're over on the tube side, that number is 737-295-5321. Better yet, maybe you do think that he's doing a good job. Maybe you think that there's something I'm missing. This live is a platform for you as well to come up here and tell me what I'm missing. Better yet, you can try. And I'll give you several reasons as to why you're wrong. We're getting a bunch of conflicting reports in regards to the ceasefire in Iran. But then again, everyone who is celebrating this event needs to take into consideration that this is our 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th attempt to actually get a ceasefire. And it's the same. Donald Trump says there's a ceasefire. Sometimes it goes on for a few days where it seems that way and tensions kind of calm down. The stock market and everything else responds to said allegation, and then they start bombing each other again. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping anyone in the slightest. But yet, we still, for some reason, think that this is good. And to the individuals who are completely dodging the JCPOA, I find that to be fascinating. Regardless, we have our first guest up on the box. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Make sure you guys are doing all the things to get us pushed out in the FYP. America first. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And do you regret your vote?
Absolutely not. Is Make America Great Again a cult?
Is Make America Great Again a cult? Some can classify it as such. I know it's racist.
You know it's racist?
Very much aligns it with racism for
you,
sure.
You said you know it's racist?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to report you for misinformation.
I'll let you know how that report goes. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Bobby's Truth, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
No?
No, I did, yeah.
Yes or no?
Of course. Yes, I did.
Okay, was confused. And do you regret your vote?
No.
Why is that?
No, that's silly. It's just a silly idea to regret something like that. Not like there was a vote this morning.
What's silly about regretting a horrible decision that you've made?
It's not a horrible decision. He's doing everything he said he was going to do.
Like what?
Like lock down the border, get control, start figuring out who's here, stop letting countries put their boot on our neck, removing dangerous people from the world, taxes, the economy. I mean, if anybody, they won't let them do anything with all these silly challenges and lawsuits constantly. It's a mess. So we'll never really get to see what could have happened. But we do know that people all across this country are still hurting like they were 18 months ago.
So you said that you said that he's making sure we get all these bad people out and vetting whoever is here. Although the deal that DHS made with the IRS last year would clearly show that we know exactly who these people are if we're able to pull up tax records for what they would pay, which is
I didn't say
contrary to the
that.
talking point. Well, that's what I'm
I didn't
saying. We
say.
would know who these individuals are. So this argument that you guys keep making that we don't know who some of these people are isn't quite true.
I
Not
wasn't
to
talking about
mention,
immigrants. I was
you
talking about people
literally
around the world, like three of the most dangerous people in the history of this
you
world.
also was talking about immigration. That's what you opened up
Yeah,
with. You said he was
everybody
locking down the
should.
border, and
Yeah,
then we
it
were
should be locked down until they get
finding
control
out
of
who
it.
was
So
here. That's literally what you said.
yeah, everybody should have their face shown. The immigration system's
The only people that
so
are running around with
broken.
masks and it's sanctioned by the states and the United States government would be ICE agents who are terrorizing the country.
What are you talking about? The left runs around with masks all the time.
I mean, at
Video after
protests to
video of
protect
them.
themselves. That is correct. Again,
Oh,
I don't
so
know if
there
you
is more than
missed the
just
part where I
ICE.
said state sanctioned. These are quite literally gang members with badges running around terrorizing Americans.
They're not terrorizing Americans.
I mean, I don't know what you would call the murders that we've seen so far, the wrongful detainments, the scooping up of citizens and undocumented migrants alike who are entitled to due process into unmarked vans and taking them away to facilities we don't even, in some cases, have addresses for. I don't know what else you would call that.
He calls, what did you think was going to happen?
Oh,
You pretend like there's not an issue. You lie about the amount of people that are here for so long. What did you eventually think was going to happen? You guys live on this like false reality. Like, we'll just let things go and we'll kick the can down the road and nothing will ever happen. Well,
so
eventually it
detaining and
does. And you're
alluding
seeing
to
that right
deporting
now.
American civilians, teasing the idea of taking away your status if you committed a certain crime, violating the Constitution and several amendments within it, all for the sake of protecting Americans from undocumented migrant crime. That is a appropriate response to what you're alleging to have been taking place for the last, not the last 4 years, saying what you guys are saying, from Biden's term.
No, but Biden sat up there and said there's no immigration issue in this country. There's no one coming across the
Biden
border.
never
So
got
they
up on the
lied to you
stage,
guys.
world stage, and said that there was quote unquote no immigration issue in the country. In fact, he acknowledged some of the increases and was working alongside the legislative branch for his entire term to actually address it. And by the time we got the most
No, actually,
viable
his,
options, the most bipartisan option come 2023, early 2024, it was Republicans in the Senate who shut it down. Question for you. Do you
yeah,
think
40,
it would be good
42
to set a
months and
cap on the
10
amount
million
of
is too late.
encounters that we have at the southern border? Do you think it would have been good to set a cap?
Well, that's what he did after 4.5 years
That
or
wasn't my
3.5
question.
years of saying he
That
was
wasn't my question.
handcuffed. He
I
couldn't
said,
do anything without Congress.
do you think it would have been good to set a cap at the southern border?
Sure,
Okay.
it'd be okay.
Do you think it would have been good to allocate a couple $1 million to a border wall?
Yeah, these were all Band-Aid things, though. It doesn't fix the
What do you mean
immigration
what do you mean
laws.
they're bad Band-Aid things?
Band-Aids. It's something that's going to perpetuate and continue the problems, the
Sure.
real problems
So
with
what about
immigration.
hiring? What about hiring at least 1,500 immigration judges and lawyers, allocating more funding for Border Patrol agents to process the backlog that we have in the country so we can streamline our immigration process, get the bad eggs out faster and the good eggs in? Do you think that would have been monumental reform to the immigration system versus a Band-Aid?
That's not reform. That is
That
just
is absolutely an aspect
dealing
of
with a
reform.
broken system. How about let people know
What's broken
that there's
about the
not a
system?
free ride and you're not going to come here
That
and pretend
we
you're
don't
an
have a
asylee.
broken system. We don't have a free ride broken system. That's not how that works.
Well, how are people here for
One of
25
the
years
reasons why
too much
immigrants
trouble?
would try to come to this country as rapidly as they did for a moment is because of the economic instability across other regions, in some part because of the United States, and because the process to get in here legally is not only extremely tedious, but can take years on end, some cases decades. So
Is
I
it
don't know how you
important to
can
them?
I don't know how you can respond with that's not streamlining the process or fixing the immigration issue if we were to address one of the reasons why we have the backlog, which is a lack of judges and lawyers to process these claims. legal,
No, the
asylum, or
reason we have a
otherwise.
backlog is because we have more people coming to this country than any other country in the world
We had a
by
backlog well
far.
under the first Trump administration when he would have allegedly had these record low numbers.
But either way, so change the laws.
That's
Make it easier
that's
to
the
get citizenship. Not
that's
not deal with the people that have come here.
did you just say make it easier to gain citizenship?
Yeah,
Are you a
make it
leftist?
safe. No, but make it safe, make it fair.
I'm just that
make
sounded
it
real
reasonable.
leftist to me.
No, I don't believe that it should be that hard.
Where's your voting record?
People
I don't
should
believe you
have,
voted for Trump in 2024. There's no way you voted for Trump in 2024 and said with your full chest that you want to make the process easier. Because I do want to make this super clear to you. The Trump administration has done nothing but make it more difficult.
well, until you get control of the situation, you're not going to be. And yeah, they
You
should
just said he
be
had
further
control of the
along.
situation.
He's getting control of the situation.
No, you said he did. The Trump administration has been touting around zero crossings, which is a bold-faced lie. They touted around a 95% reduction in encounters from a period in time where it was rampant, not the end of Biden's term. So by all those metrics, Donald Trump would have very much had the border under control, which means, per your logic, it is time for us to actually fix the issue. But nothing has been passed in Congress to do so. In fact, we just allocated more money, 60, 70 something billion more dollars to fund DHS through 2029. There's been no reform. They're not even talking about it in Congress.
Yeah, and that is a fair argument. That is fair to say, well, what's next? And I think a lot of voters that voted for him are feeling the same way. It's not the only thing that people are asking what's next. Like, I'm not blind. I see what's going on. But, it still goes back to the fact that we can't pretend like we don't have issues in this country and then be surprised when all heck breaks loose.
Those issues that we have
It
in this
happens
country
like with
have
our
only
debt.
been exaggerated by the Trump administration, not to mention he's provided no solutions to actually address them. Once again, you talked about reform. Trump administration never ran on reform. You know what he did run off of? Mass deportation, setting 3,000 a day quotas to pick up and detain and deport individuals, which is why the majority of people held in detainment right now, only 5% have an actual criminal record. That's what, quote unquote, fixing that problem you're talking about looks like, especially when the problem doesn't exist.
Well, if it's only 5%, which I believe it's much higher, you're still talking about
I mean, I can pull up the
thousands
report
and
for you.
thousands and thousands of criminals.
I can put up the report for you. It is literally 5% as of
Yeah, but what is
March or
5%
April of
of a million?
2026. 5% of individuals detained.
Yeah, so how many
people
have
would
been
be
detained?
Let's say, because the detainments
Million?
would be separate from the deportations. We would have 600,000 in deportations and alleged 1.6 million in self deportation. So that wouldn't be included in the detainment number. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's double it from the deportation numbers, 1.2 million, 5% of 1.2 million.
That's quite a bit.
Sure. And we're doing our job, no different from what we did in previous administrations, of detaining and deporting those individuals.
Still, if it's 60,000, 70, 80,000 like legit criminals, I'm sorry, but it's
Do
a
you
tough
think I'm up here
situation.
advocating for us to keep criminals here?
No.
So then
No, but
why are
when
you
you-
focusing on the criminals? The Trump administration, how they handle said criminals, would not be an issue for me. The argument is the majority of them aren't the demographic that he said he was going to detain and deport. And definitely not at the cost of the American citizens where he justified them getting shot in the face or back.
Well, those situations are horrible, but we're still talking about 70,000 individuals, criminals that are gone. So that's a lot of
Do you
people.
know how many
And
people were deported under Biden's term?
4 million?
3.
Okay. Do you know any of their names?
Any of their names specifically? No.
Yeah, but I bet you know a lot of the ones deported under Trump's. See, there was no one
No.
running around with
The only one I
cameras
know is the
during.
wrongful deportation, which was Kilmar Bergo Garcia. I couldn't name every bad criminal that he deported. I don't care to memorize criminals' names.
So, but you just trusted the Biden administration that they were doing everything.
I mean, it's
Above
not
par.
about trust. We trust and verify. We have the numbers to reflect they were doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing.
How? But how do you know? You didn't have a million people running around with cameras. No one cared
Yes,
at
we
all.
did. We can go as far back as Obama. The ACLU quite literally sued the administration for alleged violations of due process. This has only been amplified even more so because more people are paying attention to it, but we had some of the same loud voices way back when. Not to mention, ICE has never been weaponized in such a fashion. So by default, the Trump administration's DHS appointees and everyone under it is going to get infinitely more criticism.
But you have the idea that just because it's hard to go through the process. So say someone's been here for 20 years, they're good people. Because it costs a lot of money and it's too hard, it is okay for them to say screw it. I don't care enough about it. I'm not going to do it. You're
I didn't say it's
completely
okay.
fine.
I just find it ridiculous to complain about it or demonize people when we actively make the process harder. The Trump administration has put additional fees to become a citizen here. He has completely locked out the applications from people in select countries, predominantly Muslim countries, while ramping up refugees from South Africa under the guise of a fake made up genocide. That would be my complaint and criticism. Then you can't talk about wanting more legal immigration, but then you cancel the asylum applications of over 30,000 people. And then you're picking up people as they're going to courthouses, following the law, going to their proceedings. We were literally picking them up from the courthouses.
Some cases, a few.
Quite a
And
bit. I would argue
but the
one is
majority
too
of the
many.
cases have been legit. But again,
Legit in what
it's
way?
tough. Like they weren't supposed to be here, or they overstayed their time, or they didn't go to their court date, which most individuals don't go to their
God
court
bless
dates,
you.
as we know.
You'd be talking about asylum, but even then, that's not
Let's,
necessarily most. That would be 80 something percent that's rejected.
but still, like I mean, why do why do you have the idea that immigrants shouldn't have to follow the laws just because it's
What about
tough?
what I
But
said
God
you,
bless
implies
you.
that I don't want people to follow the law?
well, you're saying these people shouldn't be deported.
I'm saying we should revamp the system and prioritize the worst of the worst, the violent criminals that you were referencing, and to individuals who are not convicted of a violent crime, who came here for a better life, we should give them a pathway to citizenship because we actually waste money picking up people who aren't committing crimes and sending them back. We're losing revenue.
Well,
And
I
there's several human rights violations that can come about when we're sending them back to countries that they didn't even come here from. That is a huge ongoing issue in the Trump administration, where they may have came here from Venezuela and we send them to fucking Peru.
yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But I mean, again, when the system's been allowed to be broken for 30 years,
You keep saying allowed
eventually,
to be broken. What do you mean by
yeah,
that?
neither party's been willing to actually fix it in a meaningful way. And there's been opportunities that either party could have done it,
I
and
went
they
over
no one's
three
chose to do it.
provisions of setting a cap on encounters, hiring additional immigration judges and lawyers, and even additional funding to the wall, which I think that part is stupid, but it was a compromise, in S4361. This was the border bill that was worked alongside Republicans and Democrats and shut down in the Senate by everyone but one Republican senator, Murkowski in Alaska. It's because Trump called them in order for it to be shut down. He quite literally even said, blame it on me. He wanted something to run off of in 2025. And if the border was actually secured through legislative practices versus executive orders that could be challenged, then he wouldn't have had much to run off of. The Trump administration quite literally told people to not look at or vote for immigration reform so that he can look better when he comes in and militarizes the border. I
But you
think that's
think
the
people
opposite of
have
America
these
first.
feelings about immigrants or immigration because of what Trump says?
What now?
You believe that people have these feelings or support strong immigration because of what Trump says?
Yeah, they follow their leader. We quite literally had a congressman who got up on TV and said he doesn't believe anything the news or media network says until he hears it out of Trump's mouth. Are you denying that Trump has significant power over the GOP or even the average American?
Yeah, for sure. Because what's going to happen in 6 months when he's lame duck. Do you think people are going to change how they feel about the social issues in this country?
I think
Do you
people
think
have been
Trump?
changing how they feel about many of these issues significantly, or significantly compared to what it was before. As of now, yes. Hence why I host this live. But in regards to the majority, no. He's still polling amongst Republicans with what, 80%, 70, 80% approval ratings.
But you really believe that the right leaning ideology has anything to do with Trump? So you got like the pew pews and AB
No, I am not
and
saying conservatism is a Trump thing. No. Donald Trump just hijacked the conservative movement, bastardized it in the form of MAGA. But no, Donald Trump, honestly, is not even a conservative. He quite literally came from Democrats.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
But he's still
do
running and
you?
implementing policies to appease the radical far right conservative base.
Well, most people just agree with what I mean, his logic for the most part, regardless if he says it. Like that's what I'm saying. Trump's going to be gone. Things aren't
Sure,
going
that
to
doesn't change
change
the
in this
fact that the
country.
president of the United States getting up on the world stage and touting around conspiracy theories and bold-faced lies also enables Americans in this country to go out and spread them as well. It strengthens them. We've seen from his first term and well into his second, hate crimes increases every single time this man gets elected. It's because of his rhetoric. And we know he understands the importance of certain rhetoric and how it instigates violence because he quite literally, after Charlie Kirk was killed, he quite literally got up and said the violent rhetoric from the left is the reason why he's dead. He understands the significance of words, except when it comes to him.
So when the Democrat Party was running around saying Russia, 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 we had this secret evidence against him for 4 years, and they made your whole party and your whole team spout this and repeat this over and over for years about how he was a Russian spy because the dossier and all this. Like, would that be an example of kind of what you're talking about now, with the leaders giving
The Russian
misinformation?
collusion was heavy on Trump because he was the 2016 presidential candidate, but it wasn't solely surrounded or solely based or focused on Trump. The allegations made that he was a Russian colluder were found to be, or at least not connected, but he very much still obstructed those investigations. And Russia did prefer Trump and directly influence our elections. It's proven in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We sanctioned the hell out of those entities in Iran and Russia December 31st of 2024 after the election. Really quickly, W's in the chat to Olive Jar for the $5 Venmo. MOU text is now public, sent in Discord DMs, Egg and Soul Glow. Got you, I'll take a look at that. And W's in the chat to Olive for the 2. As a good egg, most people who demonize these people don't understand what it's like to make hard decisions. The hardest decisions most of these men make is whether or not they should ask for consent or just pull a Trump. Yeah, there's that. W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio if you want to donate directly. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side and you send a super chat or a super sticker, like the stream over there and let's double tap on the TikTok end. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark. I'm going to need to see you guys. Chop, chop. Tap that screen, knock out the finger heart, share out the live with your friends and family, and let's get back into it. Are you under the belief that Donald Trump did not obstruct some of the investigations that went into his own friends and campaign managers that were held liable for Russian collusion, like Rudy Giuliani? What's the name of his campaign guy? Shit, I'm blanking on his campaign guy.
The bald guy.
Conviction. It's on his first term. Something Cohen? Is it something Cohen?
Stephen
Michael
Cohen?
Cohen.
Stephen Cohen.
Michael.
Was it Michael Cohen?
I think it's Michael. Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh, Monty said Paul Manafort.
Paul Manafort. There's Paul Manafort. That is correct. Russia. Let me double check this before I say it. Personal attorney. No. The advance is actually a significant previous undisclosed business ties. So he's one of the people who wrote a book that made some of the claims. I'm thinking of his first campaign manager. I'm blanking on his name. I think it was Manafort.
Oh, it's like
Yeah,
a bald
Steve
guy.
Bannon.
I know who you're talking.
Yeah.
So, but So they were investigated for all this, right?
That
They
is
were
correct.
investigated and labeled, and we were all labeled Russian spies. That's what you guys used to call the MAGA.
Some of
Um,
Trump's allies were convicted of it. Yes.
Convicted of what? Lying to the FBI.
Yes.
When the FBI essentially based off this dossier that was forced in through the FISA courts illegally.
It
Um,
was not.
it most certainly was because they've got those
Thank you,
warrants
Karen.
based upon misinformation, false information that
God
a
bless
FISA
you.
court wouldn't normally grant access to spy on American citizens and do all that. But where's the proof? Where's the big reveal for all that went into that? Like, what
Reading out
was it?
Section 702. Where are you basing this off of? That they would not have had the authorization under those circumstances to do what they did.
To spy on American
You
citizens.
get spied on
So
every
they
day.
got warrants through the FISA court to spy and take their
Which was
messages and
legal.
their emails, which is legal if you're granted through the FISA court. But they gave them false information to get those warrants, which was essentially proven.
What is the
So
false
where's the big
information that
reveal?
they
So
gave?
what was the whole investigation? Why was we on the Russia for 4 years?
Because
What even today? Do we
Russia for
know?
4 years has been proven to be interfering with our elections, and the Trump
Oh,
administration especially should have prided themselves on election integrity. So I don't know why we wouldn't put as much effort as
wait.
we did
Russia
into
spent like
ensuring
a
that they weren't so
million
involved.
dollars, $1 million on advertisements. How much has George Soros or his friends spent on advertisements?
I don't know where you're getting this from. Where it was only $1 million in the U.S. That wouldn't
That's what.
change the other ways
Tim,
where they may not even directly financed it.
But I'm saying
Tim,
it's insignificant
Tim
for all that
Pool.
was.
You
What's
think?
that?
Hold on. You think a country like Russia being invested in our elections and causing it to lean towards any one candidate's favor who they think will serve them is insignificant?
A superpower spending $1 million is insignificant. So you don't
The
think other countries?
superpower. Hold on. I'm sorry. The superpower is Russia.
Hmm.
That would be like saying we could care less that China spent $1 million trying to influence our elections. Why are we watering down our enemies interfering our elections?
I'm not, but I'm not saying that it's a good thing. But for the amount of money and effort they put in, it doesn't prove to be a big thing. How much did China spend? How many prosecutors, how many senators has George Soros
God
and
bless you.
his friends backed?
George
How much money has
Soros
he spent?
is an American. He would be a philanthropist, and in some cases, you can even argue he's a lobbyist versus a foreign nation like Russia or China having operatives directly try to influence the outcomes of our election to serve them. I think those are two drastically different circumstances.
Sure, but you still don't have the big aha moment. What did they do?
The aha moment was not
We
about
spent
Trump. You are hyper focusing on Trump as if this was about Democrats just trying to get back at him. That wasn't it. That was just added on that Trump could have been directly involved in said collusion. The significance of it was the fact that they were interfering to begin with.
So they spent 4 years, countless dollars. We were called Russian spies, and you still don't have any real
There was a
big
whole committee
proof.
on it.
I'm
There
sorry,
was a
are you
whole
listening to
Hmm.
committee
everything
on
we're
this.
saying?
So what is it? What did they do?
There was a whole special committee on this whole Russian collusion information. And also, the people who were charged with it some of them are facing time. Indictments have been dropped. There's stuff in the live chat in Discord if you want to give it a link.
Monica sent it to me.
So
Over the
what were
course of
they
this nearly
charged with?
2-year-long probe, special counsel Robert Mueller and his team of prosecutors have now indicted 34 individuals and 3 Russian businesses on charges ranging from computer hacking to conspiracy and financial crimes. Those indictments have led to 7 guilty pleas and 5 sentenced to prison. Paul Manafort, Rick Gates, Konstantin Kilimnik, Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn, Roger Stone, Michael Cohen, the Russian intrusion, George Papadopoulos. This was an unpaid foreign policy advisor to Trump. Alex Van der Zwaan, Richard Panito, so on and so forth. W's to Monica.
Okay, so what was Manafort charged with?
Manafort was charged with that was the whatchamacallit. Yeah, campaign chairman. I don't know why I was mixing up with Cohen.
Yeah.
Faced charges in 2 separate federal courts on a slew of financial crime charges related largely to his lobbying work in Ukraine. A jury found Manafort guilty on 8 of 18 counts. He was tried within the Eastern District of Virginia, with the judge declaring a mistrial on the other 10. The guilty charges included multiple counts of false income tax returns, failure to file reports of foreign bank accounts, and bank fraud.
And then
Manafort-
Donald Trump pardoned
Yes.
him.
Okay, so he was charged with financial crimes. What about Papadopoulos? What was he charged with?
Papadopoulos was unpaid foreign policy, secretly arrested for lying to FBI investigators about his correspondence with foreign nationals with close ties to senior Russian government officials.
Okay, what
There's a couple.
about
There's I can send this to you, but I have the entire report here. You're watering down the significance of this investigation when we were able to help secure our elections with it. I think your main contention is Trump being involved, but friendly reminder that Trump obstructed some of these investigations just to protect his friends. That is a serious
now they're
issue.
saying if you're with the whole e-files, why wouldn't Trump go out there and say something about this? So now he should go out there and defend himself, put him out there. But because he did it back then, he's a bad person. But now he's a bad person because he doesn't go out there and defend himself.
I feel like that was a back-breaking pivot. Also, he does go out there and defend himself on a daily basis. The defense is just lackluster and clearly false. All he does is lies. And there's no reason to trust anything the Trump administration says when it comes to the Epstein files, considering that he literally called it a hoax because more than enough Republicans started paying attention to it. He said he doesn't want their support. The individuals who were calling for the release of the files, the individuals who blew up his Truth Social post, we had a whole live about this last year, were the people he just condemned.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
Do you believe Donald Trump is a pedophile?
No.
No. Why do you believe that?
Well, based on the idea simply that, so you're saying for 5 presidential administrations, every federal agency, every local agency involved, the FBI, all these agencies were all in on the gig to protect Trump. And nowhere could all the prosecutors that
Donald
dealt
Trump
with all
is
this
not the only
information.
individual who would have been implicated in the vials, so any protection of said people alleged to have done what they did to children would have superseded him. He was just one of the individuals. And of course, he got additional attention because he ran for president of the United States.
So no prosecutor.
And what
found fit?
other politicians can you think of that actually had a close relationship with him in the 80s, 90s, in some cases, late 90s, a little bit early 2000s? No one. Donald Trump's the only candidate. Not Bush, not Biden, not Obama. Trump.
Okay.
But even then, Donald Trump was also taken to court with Epstein under Katie Johnson. Katie Johnson tried to take him to court in I think it was 2016, 2017. But they hushed her down.
Dropped it because of threats. That's correct.
Yes.
And yeah, even the Clintons, which Bill Clinton, that man is suspicious. But funny enough, the Clintons showed up to a subpoena. They showed up and they testified on behalf of Epstein. Donald Trump refuses to.
What is that? Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Where's the
That he
proof
doesn't-
that he would be a pedophile?
So where's the
One of the individuals who
evidence?
settled with the Epstein estate also alleged that Donald Trump was one of the individuals who messed with her. Again, she settled with the estate. Maybe the fact that the Trump administration, or at least Republicans in the party, was somewhat trying to run off of or tie the Epstein files to Donald Trump releasing them. And the second he was asked about it in 2024, he said, there's a lot of phony stuff in there. I don't know about that one. After he said yes, maybe it's the fact that he quite literally obstructed the release of said files several times before Congress had to force him to vote on it with a discharge petition. Maybe it was the fact that he lied about his relationship with the man. Maybe it's the fact that they're still lying about him calling the police on Epstein, even though he did not do that. And even the investigator at the time, Michael Ryder, never said those words out of his mouth.
But in 40 years, there's not one honest prosecutor throughout the country that could have brought this up.
There were
Epstein
several
had a clean
prosecutors.
deal in
God bless you.
2008.
Because Epstein was friends with everybody.
Thank you, Jordan, for the hearts.
All Harvard, Princeton, all the big schools,
He
the
had
whole
a
science
plea deal.
community.
Epstein had a plea deal in 2008 with Alex Acosta.
Mm-hmm.
So there were prosecutors who were on it.
On Epstein, yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you're saying this has gone on
God
since
bless
the
you.
80s. So in 40 years, there hasn't been one willing prosecutor based on the evidence.
There's been
to
a
bring
ton
charges.
of prosecutors, and then there's only so much information that they had up until the main case and the prosecution that we had in 2006. Then there was the bullshit sweetheart deal. Then there was the allegations that was made afterwards. I don't know how any of this is relevant to your point. If you want to sit here and say that previous administrations had individuals who were lackluster and protected him, no one's going to disagree with that. It's the Trump administration who somewhat championed the release of these files, and then has been walking it back every single day since.
So no one within the Bush administration, the Clinton administration.
My guy, I don't know why you're focusing
Obama
on Bush.
administration.
I don't care. Bush is not the president of the United States, lying to you guys on a daily basis, saying that he didn't do what was alleged, saying that they're doing everything they can to release the files after they've already released the names of the victims that they were supposed to protect, and they flag things like "don't" in the files because it's Don T.
So the
Why you keep talking about Bush and every other president?
Well, because you asked me, do I believe if he is that way? So of the 1,000 living witness or victims
Was
right now,
Bush ever alleged to have been in the Epstein files fucking kids?
I don't know. No, I'm saying, but
No.
Bush was
Clinton?
the Bush administration.
Yes, kind of.
God bless you.
Thank you, Jordan, for the puppy gamepad. Was Obama? No. Was Biden? No. So I do not give a shit about what took place under their administration, especially when there's only so much they could have done, not only because these departments were independent and the president actually isn't supposed to be championing over some of these investigations, but two, they weren't fully released. There's only so much they could have done until they were unsealed in September of last year. That's how we even got the Epstein Transparency Act passed.
So you're talking two of the leakiest administrations in history. Remember the FBI took a photo of the classified documents with the envelopes and mixed up the envelopes and leaked that to the press? You're telling me these leaky administrations that
I feel like
Trump,
I keep talking about what this Trump administration is doing, and you keep going back to previous administrations for some reason.
because it's
I'm going to
impossible
say
to
this
believe
again,
that
and I'm
no
going
one
to try
else
and
would have
say
done
it
something.
as simply as I possibly can. The president is not the deciding factor over investigations into criminals in the United States. When it comes to the FBI and the CIA, so on and so forth, they may appoint the heads of these departments, but they're still independent. The previous presidents respected the independence of these agencies. If you were to ask me if I think they should have maybe spoke out more against it, sure. But regardless, they're still separate from the presidency in the executive branch, not controlled by the president. Additionally, there's only so much some of those investigations could have brought about up until those last remaining files were released. Because of Ghislaine Maxwell specifically, she still had pending litigation. And that was settled in September of 2025.
Okay, and she only had pending litigation for a couple of years. I'm not saying the presidents themselves, but you're
I don't know
trying
why
to
you
say
go back to
during-
before that time period. This is when more Americans were paying attention to the matter. This is where we got most of the heat, specifically since 2024, on the
But
release of said files.
It shouldn't matter if people are paying attention to it or not. You're saying
Yeah, I'm
the
aware of
FBI
that. But
failed,
now with
the
people paying
Department of
attention, now
Justice
with
failed.
more eyes on the topic, we have been screaming for more advocacy, more transparency, and justice for the victims. You keep
And there should
going
be.
back to time periods before Donald Trump to excuse his behavior. I don't live in 2024, 2023, 2020, 2015, 2010. I live now, where the man is playing in our faces. Why do you keep trying to pivot? Why is it so hard for you to think that a man who bragged about walking to underage girls' changing rooms, who talked about grabbing him by the ussy, I don't even wait. Why is it so hard for you to believe that that person maybe doesn't respect the consent of children or adults?
Well, he didn't say those two lines together, and I don't think he said that about
I just said a
underage.
few lines that he said.
Yeah, well, you put them together. You put underage.
I didn't
and
put 'em
grab by
together.
the OC.
I
you said
literally
them
did.
right
I
after each
mentioned two
other.
things that he did. I did not connect them into one event.
Then that's fine. I'm just saying it's hard
On
to
the
believe
Howard
that
Stern
this.
show, he bragged about walking into the changing room of underage girls. Mind you, he didn't say girls. Women in that pageant, girls in that pageant, excuse me, were between the ages of 15 to 19. And he called them women. You see this incredible, beautiful looking women who are standing there with no clothes. 2005 Hollywood Access tape that was released in his first campaign trail. Grab him by the ussy. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. That's what he said. I didn't connect those two things. Wouldn't matter if I did. They're gross. And that's only a tip of the iceberg. The reports of him raping his wife in the first divorce papers that they made. The reports of Katie Johnson, the 26 other allegations.
So where's Katie Johnson now?
Scared out of her fucking mind. Hiding.
Probably trying to not get unalivement threats from the Trump administration like she did the first go around when she tried to take him to court.
And the second time.
And the third.
So for all the victims, they all
Survivors.
think the same way. They think the same way.
Survivors.
What do you mean they think
All the
same way? What?
survivors. No, like every single one of them has the same story. Like
No,
they're just
they
trying
don't have
to
the
stay
same
alive.
story.
With literally billions of dollars on the line to tell their story.
My guy, these women have spoken out. And you know what they've done for years? Just allegations. Where's the proof? And we haven't even bothered to launch real investigations to some of these individuals. Other countries are doing a better job than us. With Prince Andrew, we have done absolutely nothing. When the president of the United States, who was named, I remember the Million Times report, but that's just his name being mentioned. I think it was over 30,000 times, if I want to say, a couple more times in the damn files. We haven't touched that whatsoever. Pam Bondi, his previous appointee, who is now out the fucking paint. She recently testified on behalf of how she handled it. You know what she did? She said, all those actions, I put it on Todd Blanche. She excused herself now as a private citizen, even though everything she would have done would have been under the orders of President Donald Trump, and pass it on to Todd Blanche, who is now the acting director. Or, excuse me, not director, attorney general.
Sure, of course she's going to cover her ass, but I still,
Okay,
I
then.
can't get
And
that-
everything
I
she
can't
would
get-
have done would have been under the orders of the president. When his name was flagged by 1,000 FBI agents to skim through the files, that was the president's orders. The situation room that they had in regards to one of the allegations where J.D. Vance, Susie Wiles, Caroline Levitt, so on and so forth, that was under the president.
So have you gone through and looked at the times his name is mentioned?
Yeah, I've gone through a few. Obviously, I haven't gone through every single page.
So
What's
you
the
can
point you're
go.
trying to make?
There's a way to go and say first time Trump was mentioned.
Have you done
Second
that?
time.
Have you done that,
I've done
Bobby?
it quite a bit. Yeah.
Have you? And have you
Yeah.
read the gross shit that's in there?
No, not really. But you hear enough about it.
So you've never actually sat and scraped through and read the files with Trump's names on it. You haven't read any of it then. Because if
No,
you
I
can
haven't
see,
sat
if you
there
can
all-
sit here, if you can sit here and say, "Oh, you know what? They all have the same story," you're fucking wrong. And also, you're actively defending him.
Guys, double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 100K.
I'm not
and beyond.
actively
Show the
defending
algorithm
anyway.
being-
I said, where's the proof? An allegation is not proof. This is America. You don't have to prove yourself innocent.
The allegations made are to launch investigations. The investigations have not been launched into some of the biggest culprits in the United States. They try to hyper-focus on individuals like the Clintons. The Clintons at least have testified before committees on behalf of their relationship with Epstein. Donald Trump hasn't.
By the way, open door. There were films. We were able to watch the testimony from Phil and Hillary Clinton. But you know who we weren't to
Afterwards,
see
yeah.
to testify for? Pam Bondi. Sure, the transcripts came out.
Yep, it was closed doors.
Yep.
Because they refused to agree to a public hearing. Everything that we know mostly about those events, you said there's transcripts. Now, I actually didn't know that. But what we knew initially was based off of what the Democrats in that meeting, or the Epstein survivors in that meeting, were able to say.
I'll have to send you Pam Bondi's transcripts.
Thank you.
But you still think every agency locally, by the state, federally, the
I
Department of
think these
Justice.
agencies are being controlled by the president and his administration and his appointees.
But they weren't being controlled. When's the last alleged?
Can you give me any evidence whatsoever of previous presidents of weaponizing the DOJ or the FBI to the degree that Donald Trump has?
Didn't the last administration go after parents in school board meetings?
No.
Call them terrorists?
They did.
No.
Oh, okay, they didn't. Didn't the Obama administration cut funding to schools?
Hold on. Why do you keep pivoting?
He just asked if there's any previous.
I asked him a question about an example. I was going to bring it back, but yeah, he can answer.
But even then, like going all the way back to Obama, like you're sitting here and you can point out every little thing from other administrations, but you can't call out your own fucking party, the person you fucking voted for.
I can, and I have. I actually
you
earlier
haven't.
said I'm not blind. I see the things why people are upset.
You
I understand.
You went as far as to say that you've read the files, yet everything we're saying, you've been pushing it back against it. Better yet, it seems like you guys get really uncomfortable when we call Donald Trump a fucking rapist and pedophile. Let's, for the sake of your comfortability, which I'll only entertain this for so goddamn long, let's say he isn't implicated in the files. At the bare minimum, doesn't it concern, or shouldn't it concern, every fucking person in the United States that he's done everything in his power to protect the individuals who would have been implicated? That the files that have been released, which has been only a sliver of what's actually there, have still been redacted to hell, even though he signed the bill into law that says the only names that are supposed to be redacted are the names of the victims. If you are to actually believe that Donald Trump in no way, shape, or form did anything to those kids, then you have to ask yourself, why the fuck would he be protecting the people who did? And that's both sides. You think there's Democrats in the files?
Sure.
He's protecting those Democrats.
He's protecting Bill Clinton. He's protecting Hillary in there. Every single one of them.
W's in the chat to Kevin for the $5 super chat. You got a sharp mind and a long fuse. You remind me of Obama. I will be a fan. I only aspire to be as great as Obama was. I appreciate that compliment, though. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Manda for the $2 Venmo. They're so gross when they defend their pedo cult leader. Again, he's the reason us white women are voluntarily celibate. Love you, Hector. W's in the chat to Amanda. Yeah, gosh, this is kind of fucking gross. Ain't gonna cap. God bless you. Thank you, Valerie, for the star, Matt Polaris. I appreciate you. Guys, if you click on my name in the top left corner and you see the C2 gift gallery, we're trying to get back in B League, which unfortunately means we have to knock out all those fucking grayed out gifts. If you guys want to knock out any of the gifts in my gift gallery, please feel free to do so. And of course, hit that follow button in the top left corner and send your daily heart me's. Take care of Olive while she's here co-hosting with us. Fantastic creator who also goes live just about every single day, sometimes twice a day. So we want to show her that we love her and all the good things that she provides us today.
Can I pivot back?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Bobby, you made a comment about the cameras, right? Especially with the ICE stuff. Do you understand why we see more cameras nowadays?
We have more.
Why?
Why? Because Donald Trump has made this a political theater. He wants you to see things happening. He wants you to see, oh, look at that. We're taking it illegal, and we're gonna take them, and we're gonna put them into the detention center because that's where they belong because they're criminals. He's doing it because he's trying to make his uneducated base feel good on the inside for the votes that they do.
Thank you, BZs.
That's the only reason why they have those.
No, I'm talking about the freedom fighters, as they call themselves.
Caller on the line. Hold for one moment.
Million
The freedom
cameras. The protesters,
God bless you.
The million protesters that brought their cameras out the day Trump was elected. They didn't give a fuck before that day.
You would have to show me.
What? I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. Do you think the press didn't record inaugurations before him? What are you talking about?
No, you guys have a name for it now. It's called community. What do you guys call it? Recorders or something. It's a silly name, but
paparazzi.
No, the citizens going around filming every
independent journalists.
No, they're not journalists. They're just citizens. They're just normal people. Who?
I'm sorry. What's the issue with normal people documenting the events of this time? What?
Because if they cared much about it, they would have documented the whole time, not just with this
People
is
were
just a Trump
documenting
thing.
during the Biden administration. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
you seem to be like, okay. The reason why, let's say in the case of ICE, and I'm going to bring this back to the fact that you're quite literally being a pedo apologist here. The reason why we would run around with cameras now recording all the actions of ICE is because of what took place in Minnesota. It's because of the wrongful detainment. It's because of the fact that anyone with the right gear and a fucking mask can pull up in an unmarked van and scoop you up, and they can say they're authorized by the United States government, despite the fact that we have reports of people falsifying their documents, falsifying their gear to appear to be ICE, and then raping people. That is why we record everything. That's why we document everything, because the way ICE has been weaponized under this administration is like nothing we've ever seen before under any president. ICE has always had its issues since 2003, but it's not been used in this fashion. It hasn't been protected in this fashion. That is why we record. Regardless of that, I really want to go back to the fact that you're really trying to tell me or convince me that you refuse to believe a man who said some of the things that I mentioned would be liable, if not, at the bare minimum, protecting individuals who are pedophiles, much less actually assaulting them, women, girls.
No, you asked me the question. I said, no, I don't think so. I said, show me the proof. And you said, well, it's not really been proven, but there's been accusations.
Yes, we
Look
have
at
some
the
of the
stories in the
accusations.
files.
Accusations
Yeah.
with, again, one of the individuals who already settled with the estate. The Epstein estate settled with her.
God
And she
bless
made an
you.
allegation, thank you, Beast Knees, for the hanging lights, that Trump was one of the individuals involved. We have other ones made of what's her name? Having her, trigger warning, guys, the Hershey's Kisses on her watermelons sucked raw until they were in pain, and that was one of his kinks. There's been no investigation launched into these things. In fact, the Trump administration, every time one seems to get close to becoming about, he keeps fighting against them.
But these are accusations from a time before he was president, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about
What does that
we're
matter?
talking about 15, 20 years ago.
Do you
No.
think because it happened 20 years ago it shouldn't matter?
Oh, it would totally matter, but he
then
didn't
why are you
have the
bringing up the
power
time
that
period?
you're saying he's wielding right now. So what you're
Yes,
saying
now he
is,
has the power to
again,
protect himself even further in a world that is asking for more accountability than ever before. That's correct.
Okay, but what you're saying is 20 years ago, every prosecutor, every cop, every FBI agent, every Department of Justice employee.
I'm sorry, this is getting gross. Let's get them all. Maybe if we launch an investigation into people who 20 years ago would have also protected Epstein, let's get them too. Let's actually launch that fucking investigation. This is what you're missing the point on. I don't give a fuck who we catch. I don't give a fuck what it reveals. Let's just do it. Let's stop having the president fight it. Oh my God. That was fucking gross. Catherine, did you vote for Trump?
I used to, but if you don't remember, I'm the lady
God
that
bless you.
fell on your live.
Thank you, Maggie, for the crystal crown. I appreciate you. WCU, Maggie. I apologize. Catherine, I didn't hear you clearly.
But if you don't remember, I'm the lady that had fell on your live last time.
Lady that fell on my live?
Yeah, I remember Catherine, and I was on another account, and I had fell,
Oh, is that you?
and I had. Yes, I just wanted to say I just want to say I did hurt my knee. I did.
Oh, no. Okay.
I am okay now, and I just wanted to say, you have changed my mind about being a Republican, what I used to be, and you have changed my mind very well, and I am so proud that you did.
I'm happy to hear it. I actually really need to hear that. Thank you so much, because that's what I try to do. I don't try to come up here and argue with people. It's nice to know I had that impact. So what's happening with your knee? Guys, this is really quickly. This is a guest we had a couple of weeks
God
ago
bless you.
who literally on the live who was talking to me fell, and they thought they were fine, but they actually hurt their knee. So what is, like, do you have it wrapped? You going through physical therapy? What's the situation with your knee? And then I
Yeah,
get to this call.
so when I tripped over the cord, my knee hit the floor really hard that I busted it. And then I looked, my knee was like bad. So then I went to the hospital immediately. I think I was there for like a day or two. And then they said that they wrapped it up and everything. But for this knee right here, I can't really walk that well on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to physical therapy every 3 days a week, and I'm getting better slowly, but it hurts a lot.
I bet it does. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you went to the doctor and had that sorted out. Please be easy on your
Yes.
on your on your knee. And I appreciate you coming back and letting me know that. I am going to drop you down. I have to get to this caller who's on the line. But thank you for following up, and I appreciate your kind words. Please take care of yourself and
Okay, thank
try
you.
not to trip. Thank you, please. Fuck. Oh my God.
Okay, thank you. Have a good
Yeah, have a good night.
day.
Y'all remember that? Literally online, we just heard pop, pop, pop. Fuck. I'm glad they're okay, but shit. We'll take care of that. Okay, I have a caller up on the line here. Let's get to him. Caller, I apologize for the wait. Did you vote for Trump? Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
No, I don't. I don't love everything Trump does. I don't vote solely on the party lines, but considering the alternatives, I feel like it's the lesser of two evils and a better alignment with my political positions.
Okay. Can you tell me when Kamala Harris would have threatened to cut the benefits to red states solely based off the fact that they don't support her?
I don't believe that was a position of her campaign, but ultimately redistributing wealth through taxation and
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the
handouts
redistribution
is
of wealth.
another form of that.
Nowhere in
our
any way,
welfare
shape, or
state.
form is that close to the evil that would be threatening funding to states that oppose you just based off that opposition, going as far as to create fake, baseless allegations of mass amounts of fraud just so you can invite the National Guard or other agents to invade your cities and violate your state's rights.
Well, that's quite the statement. There's been many validations to the fraud, and ultimately the government sucks at everything.
Validations to the fraud that we've already prosecuted, specifically in Minnesota,
Oh, that's
well
it.
into
They're all
2022
done.
under
Everything's
Joe
been
Biden,
uncovered,
Kamala
right?
Harris, and Tim Walz. No, not everything has been uncovered, but the fraud that you're referencing, and specifically in the states that the Trump administration talks about mass amounts of fraud in, are the states with the highest conviction rates for said fraud. California being the number one.
Okay, well, there's other states that are Democrat controlled that
Do you think fraud is
think
exclusive to
are funneling money
I'm sorry,
and
do you think fraud is
ultimately
exclusive to blue states?
to support. Here, can you slow down for a minute? I don't get the hostility 5
Not
seconds
hostile,
into
I'm
the
just asking you a
conversation.
question. You haven't heard me hostile,
And
sir. I'm
ultimately,
just passionate about what I'm
yeah,
talking
well,
about.
I know you're an angry black man, but
I'm actually not
you can
angry.
tone it
but
down just
thank
for
you
a
for
little
proving
bit.
your racism. That was cute. So, anyways,
Yeah.
can you get? Can you
Here,
tell
how
me?
about
Can you answer
something
my
factual
question?
and objective rather than pigeonholing
You want
my
something
argument?
factual
What's your
and
position on
objective?
the?
You want something factual and objective? Okay. Nick Shirley
Yeah.
is an independent journalist for stupid people who has no idea what he's talking about when he goes from state to state, specifically going after the black and brown individuals and alleging that they're committing mass amounts of fraud.
Okay, well, whether or not you believe that or have seen some of the
I mean, if you can,
missteps
if again,
after
you
that's
said
been
factual and
uncovered.
objective, if you can
Okay,
tell
hey,
me
slow down.
what Nick
You can
Shirley
also
video contributed to
reference
an
other
actual
countries
prosecution
with
of
a massive
individuals in the video,
Somalian
then you can debunk my
population.
point.
Okay, can you listen for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
You can also cross-reference things. Somalians.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on.
in whatever-
Hold on, dude. Why would you ask me, who you claim an angry black man, to listen? We don't listen.
Yeah, you are. You are very angry.
Yeah.
I-
Well, I don't
I'll
know what
be
to tell you, bro.
cordial, I'll be
Angry black men
respectful
don't
to
listen.
you, but your
I don't know what to
tone
tell
and
you. We don't listen, bro.
The outset.
We don't
the
listen.
outset of this
We don't
conversation.
listen. So,
you've
anyways, I'm
already
not
tried to
listening because I'm an
pigeonhole me.
angry black man. Nick Shirley's independent journalism in his videos has not led to any actual prosecution of the people alleged in said videos, which goes to show that everything that he makes is just for shits and giggles and entertainment versus
Potentially.
actual accountability.
Potentially, I'm not using that as the barometer of truth. But
Sure, you don't have to, but
ultimately-
you asked me to give you something
the-
factual and objective, so that's exactly what I did. Would you like another example about how the Trump administration is factually and objectively trash?
Well, again, I would say most government entities and administrations have that issue, and that's
Word,
why
and
I
in
want
which case you
smaller
probably wouldn't
government,
have
not
voted.
larger
You probably
government.
wouldn't have voted if you actually believed that. But you voted for Donald Trump because he ran off of draining the swamp, even though he's done nothing but invited in.
He is the
Absolutely.
swamp.
There's several places that he's actually been a letdown. I don't support the initiatives in Iran. I think
Shit.
a lot of the deportation efforts have been underdelivered and ultimately draining the
I
swamp.
love how you guys complain with
increased
immigration is that he
spending. I don't
underdelivered.
support it all. I'm sorry?
Isn't that crazy, Olive? They say that they're unhappy with his immigration, not because of the weaponization of ICE to violate due process for Americans and undocumented migrants, not because of the restrictions and increases
Criminal
of fees for
invaders,
legal immigration,
undocumented-
not
Just
because
like
of
abortion,
Alex Preddy,
the left is
Renee
very
Nicole
good at
Good,
recategorizing
Keith
things.
Porter Jr., the over 50 people that have died in ICE detention, the individuals who have been killed in the line of duty because ICE agents think that they're fucking Fast and Furious wars. That is not the reason why I'm unhappy with Trump's immigration. It's because he hasn't been doing enough. That's crazy.
Well, and it's also, you know, him doing the stereotype, right? Him being a mediocre white man who can't seem to understand words and how words function makes sense why him being a part of the uneducated demographic would have voted for someone like Trump, because Trump himself even said he doesn't like smart people. But caller, do you think?
You're talking to my angry
You
white
guys
egg,
are
by the way.
lay your wisdom upon me, please.
Cool, great. I would love to give you my wisdom, right? Do you think the Trump administration putting the oversight for special needs out of the Department of Education to go under HHS, and do you also agree with the Trump administration removing the Civil Liberties and Investigations Department out of the Department of Education to the Department of Justice? Do you think that's okay?
I'm not super familiar with that. However, I would support ultimately dismantling the entire Department of Education at a federal level.
Why?
Because over a third of our kids that are graduating high school cannot read.
Cool. You know who you blame for that?
You know, a large portion of that third is concentrated in red states that contribute less towards education, and we don't have a federal standard of what's to be taught, which contributes to that issue.
We've had that.
Why should
back in the Bush administration, No Child Left Behind was the start of that.
That's not what No Child Left
I
Behind
don't
was.
see it as a binary of blaming one side or the other.
Why should a child in Minnesota, upon moving to Texas, be taught
or
different
withdrawing
math?
that funding and redistributing it back to the
Why
states
should a
as a better
child who
alternative?
relocates from Minnesota and moves to Texas be taught different math?
Different levels of math, mind you.
Yeah. Why should their education be lesser based off of
leaving it
state?
up to the open market, just as people currently vote with their feet, they're fleeing
Education up to the open
Democrat-controlled
market?
states
What?
and cities.
We're talking about public education. Are you talking about privatized education?
Who determines curriculum?
I believe the state should.
No, they do.
What?
Yeah, I don't think adhering to a federal guideline and standardizing that across the country is a good thing.
You just complained about the
Ultimately,
reading level.
prioritizing and allowing for a competition and a freedom of ideas and performance to flourish. The more we have federalization of the education system in our country, and even at the local levels, the public schools have a monopoly on the education system.
No, they do not. Actually, public schools have been actively defunded in multiple
Why
public
are
schools
you
have been
yelling?
shut down.
Why are you yelling? Angry
I'm not
liberals.
yelling.
You guys, you
I'm
are
not
yelling.
angry. I
Bring it
literally
down.
just
Bring it
because
down.
my voice my voice
she
went up an
won't. Don't tell her
octave.
what
I
to-
know you
don't
guys
tell her how
just
to
feed
talk.
off of the rage baiting and feeding your ignorant audience.
Here, you know
Hey,
what?
shut up.
Oh,
W's in the chat to Melvin for the $10 super chat. Miss me with quote unquote innocent until proven guilty BS. How many people have been guilty until proven innocent? That fucking part, Melvin. Ask the person you're defending about the Central Park 5. Oh yeah, that was for the last guest. He's already gone. W's in the chat to you, Melvin. W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform over on the YouTube side, super chat, super sticker, or becoming a member. Those of you on the TikTok side or even on the YouTube side, link in the description of this live stream or in my bio for direct ways to donate. Olive also has ones in her bio as well. I want to make sure she's taken care of as well. Go ahead, Olive.
So the purpose of the Department of Education is to allocate funds to certain states, primarily the red states that heavily rely on federal funding for schools. We have seen a large number of public schools being shut down because of the withholding of funds and or not using proper funds. Here in Tennessee, Bill Lee would rather use that funding for fucking voucher programs that actively harm our public education system.
Yes, because it's failed. It's a failure of the system, and we need to inject competition.
No.
And I'm sure.
School choice. When was
So
school
as
choice
much
put
as
into
you want
place?
to generalize it as a red state, Nashville, Memphis, the most populous areas are Democrat controlled.
But those states are doing fine. Shelby County schools are one of the top educated schools
Counties.
here in Tennessee. Thank you. County, thank you. And so is Davidson County here in Tennessee. But even with that, right, those counties want to overfund their education. But
Well,
even then,
look at what they're spending per student.
Those red states,
Any state.
the red states like Tennessee will have blue states, no different than Texas with blue cities, no different than Iowa with blue cities, et cetera, et cetera. That doesn't take away from the fact that when they receive funding from the from the Department of Education, that they're using it properly.
Absolutely. A lot of the administrative expenses are eating that up without any progress as far as the test results or the accomplishments or the aptitude of
teachers
our
are not
students.
paid a decent wage. A lot of times they are paying out of their own damn pocket.
No, teachers
to
are
pay
overpaid.
for supplies and goods. I'm sorry.
They get 3 months off a year. They have no level of accountability.
Because I'm sorry, 3 months off because of summer where they're not being paid.
They have no.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you understand?
Do you know what the average teacher makes? I'm sorry, hold on. Do you know what the average teacher makes?
About $65,000 in average across the country.
Do you think $65,000 is overpaid for a teacher?
For people in other positions with similar education levels,
we're talking about education.
Absolutely.
You think $65,000 is too much for a teacher? Mind you, that's just the average. Again, that differs heavily from state to state.
When you're getting 3 months off in a year, factor that in.
I don't know what to tell you. You want them to do away with summer? In some cases, they volunteer for summer school for additional money.
They work 2 jobs.
Well, then they're making over that.
No.
I don't know any private sector jobs that offer that type of flexibility and benefit.
You act as if they get 3 months off as if they choose to.
It's just a talking point because people,
I think it's absolutely crazy that people who teach the next generation, people who bring up their children, because first off, teachers are fucking therapists. They're your goddamn default babysitters. They're literally the folks who are with your children in some cases more than some of these goddamn parents. And you think that's not enough.
All teachers are good, right?
You think we should be paying teachers less.
There's not bad teachers?
Those bad teachers can be fired. Those bad teachers would have reports of their misconduct. That doesn't change the fact that for the role and for what they're doing, so long as it's not found that they're not doing something wrong, their pay is not enough.
Do you understand?
So
they view
what
teachers
would be
like
adequate compensation based on that? And do we suddenly have better test results in a higher performing education system?
How about we actually fund the education system? How about we actually look into the reason why our children are failing in schools? How about we actually do proper training for some of these teachers that need to do better and actually support the good teachers instead of relying on those educators who pull money out of their own
likes up to
fucking
100K.
pocket.
Y'all are slowing down on the taps. Double tap that screen. Show the algorithm we want to be here. We want to get those likes up.
Do you also understand?
In theory, I would support that, but no one has an incentive to do better.
I was not done speaking. Words are still coming out of my mouth. 1, 2, 3.
You're
All
still
eyes on me.
Screaming like a banshee.
Can you catch a
just
bubble
calm down for a
She's not
moment.
screaming. She's literally just talking loud, my guy. Oh my fucking god. You haven't heard screaming yet. Can you stop being a goddamn snowflake? W's in the chat to Dean for the $1 Venmo. That 2008 plea deal. This is a little bit a while ago. Because I'm sorry. Did you not just call me angry black man at the beginning of this conversation? Remember when my voice was low and I didn't call you a name and you said, yeah, you're just an angry black man. Now you want to talk about ad hominems. It never ceases to amaze me how much you guys wring your fucking panties when you get in a bunch.
No,
W's in the chat to Dean once
behavior,
again.
so
You've displayed nothing but being a
accordingly.
fucking fool. That 2008 plea deal included clause that prevented prosecution of any possible co-defendants. That's why nobody's ever been indicted. That is true, Dean. Thank you so much. W's in the chat to you. So anyways, back to this sensitive ass little bitch who can't stand anyone getting a little bit loud and doesn't know the difference between raising your voice and
Thank you.
I'm sure you think that is a compliment.
Yeah.
What do you think the Department of Education does?
There are a bunch of administrators and bureaucrats that
Administrators of what?
They accomplish nothing based on the
That's
the
crazy.
reports
That's not my question.
and
Administrators
the
of
test scores
what?
and the overall lack of education
Administrators
that's
of
being
what?
delivered to our kids. again, I don't hold this specific belief towards the education.
I didn't ask you about your
alone,
belief. You had an argument against them. What do they administrate that you'd have contention with?
I'm saying this generally about government, giving government
I didn't
the
ask
autonomy
you generally
to
about your
dictate.
position on the government, which is grossly misinformed. You said teachers are being paid too much. You said the Department of Education needs to be dismantled. What do they do?
The Department of Education?
Yeah.
Yeah, they take our money and funnel it into themselves and set certain standards and requirements and hoops that state and local governments have to jump through and adhere to. They do nothing.
You have no idea what the Department of Education
if we
does.
dismantled it tomorrow,
you have no idea what its role is.
What would be the actual impact? Because again, like you said,
I can't answer the question of what the impact would be if we dismantle the department. If you don't know what the department does, if you don't understand the significance,
lay it out.
Where'd Olive go? Oh, I don't know where she went. You don't know what the Department of Education does. You have this belief that they control
what
the
do
state
they actually
education.
accomplish?
You literally said it
what
earlier.
What are the tangible
you literally
goods
said it earlier
and services
when you
that are being
implied
delivered?
that they're the ones, or that state should control education. They literally have been. The Department of Education can't go to a state and tell them to teach anything. That's not what they've been for. Did you know that one of the jobs? Did you know that one of the jobs of the Department of Education is for civil rights enforcement? Did you know that?
Oh, great! That's wonderful. Yeah, we need to protect all the minorities more and more and more.
Do you think civil rights enforcement is only about minorities?
In large part, yes. Protected classes.
Can you name a protected class that would their predominant factor wouldn't be their race?
Fat black women. Lesbians. Sorry, a fat black lesbian.
You know, you are so embarrassingly pathetic. It's really sad. And I know you're at the point in the conversation where I'm asking for too much, and you're physically and mentally incapable.
At least I'm not defending a murderer.
You're physically like a lot of your people mentally incapable of actually substantiating any of the points that you made. So when in doubt, racism. That's what you did at the beginning of this conversation when you realized that I do know things with your angry black man comment. And now you had to go to the women because you really thought, I know, you really thought you had one there. Those fat black lesbians are protected class.
Is the same race as them. That's how racist you people are.
This is how embarrassing the Trump supporting base is. When in doubt, when you're actually backed into a corner, when we start to reveal how much you don't know shit about especially when it comes to education in the United States, you go back to racism. And it's actually really sad and embarrassing. Shut up. You sad, pathetic little boy. So let me ask you this. Is it 3 or 3.5 inches? When's the last time you turned down on a date? Do you put the whole middle finger in or your thumb?
I actually went through a sex change, so.
Yeah, and you're still not happy with yourself, and now you blame all trans people who are happy with their identities. I want you to do a backflip off a balcony. Trump supporters request up in the box you the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Mary Pepper, did you vote for Trump?
God bless you.
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
No, I don't.
Why is that? Is she breaking up for anyone else, chat? She's breaking up for me.
Kind of walk.
Ma'am, you do not have good phone service. I cannot make out what you're saying.
Go back. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to fix your service. Feel free to come back up when you take care of that. Trump supporters request up in the box you the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Just in case there is any confusion, your weight is not a protected class in the United States. So his attempt to be racist because he realized he didn't know what he was talking about fell on deaf ears. It's really sad. Mary Pepper, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're in a bad spot. I'm going to need you to go take care of that, please. Take care of that. Guys, thank you for getting the likes over 100K. We are an hour and 17 minutes into the live. I would love to get that up to 200,000. So make sure you're double tapping that screen. Show the algorithm what to be here. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Also share out the live with your friends and family. Repost and add it to your story. If you haven't sent your daily heartbeats, do that. A helpful way to boost us out into FYP alongside knocking out our respective gift goals. I didn't know I had ice cream cones set there. I thought I had a different gift, but thank you so much for knocking out those ice cream cones. I appreciate you. Of course, the best ways to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio, whether you're following me on all social medias, such as Hector, Instagram, that I post the videos I put up here, or YouTube, where we'll do streaming to right now. Join the Discord community, to which we are over 700 members strong. It is free. You may choose to subscribe there, but it is free to join. A lot of the information you hear me cite here will be posted in that, alongside whenever we do random movie nights, so on and so forth. Getting yourself some merch off the merch shop, hectorshops.com, with 2 R's, such as this one, New Testament Democrat. I have to make a video explaining it, but essentially it's another way of saying progressive. When I think of an Old Testament Democrat, I think of the establishment that we, have done fuck all so far. New Testaments would be the Rising Stars, the AOCs, the Crockett's, the Zoran Mamdani's, and individuals actually want to change the party fundamentally. So if you like that idea or many other pieces of merchandise that we have, hectorshops.com with 2 R's is where you can get them. And then finally, donating directly to the links in the bio. If you like the things that we've said here, if you want to support the stream, say hi to my cute face or anything else, you may do so at Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's, or Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's on the PayPal. Those of you on the YouTube side, hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, and turn on notification bells. And if you want to support the platform, you may check the link in the description of this video for everything I said prior, or sending a super chat, super sticker, or becoming a member. Thank you to the 60-something of you who have already become members so far. W's to the Hectivist. Snow Wolf, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
No, I do not, sir.
Why is that?
I believe things are not looking good right now, but sometimes it takes bad to get better, and we're just cleaning up from the last administration, sir.
What are we cleaning up from the last administration specifically?
I want to be able to prosper, and I believe that under Biden's term, we weren't prospering. Gas prices were still high, and then Democrats have told me that presidents aren't responsible for gas prices, but yet I'm hearing a lot of Democrats blaming it on Trump. So I think which one good for one should be good for all.
That is correct. Presidents do not control gas prices. However, presidents can do things that directly impact gas prices. The Biden administration didn't do a single thing to bring up gas prices to the highest average we saw in 2022. However, the Trump administration has done several things to negatively impact gas prices here in the United States since taking over. Do you know what those things are?
I like the fact that our governor took away our tax on the gas, so we're not getting charged for it. Yep. And that stopped recently, which I liked.
You could do it on the state level. You can do it on the federal level. That still wouldn't bring back the gas prices to what it was last year, or even to the lows that we saw in the last 2 years of, last year of the Biden administration.
I also think that I felt like Biden could get knocked over in a wind, and we need something a little more tougher. Does Trump talk out of his ass? Yes, he does. Does he like to be on camera? Yes, he does. But I believe that nobody's going to want to mess with him. So I believe that he's the man for the job. That's how I feel. And then you also said that he was racist. Now, if he was racist, why does every single race voted for him? Why? What do you call that when every single race voted for him?
Sure, we'll talk about race. No problem.
So you
said that the Trump administration had to save us from something, the Biden administration. And I just want to go over in the inflation rate for the last year of his term. And we can ascertain from 2023 and 2022, where it hit its peak of 9.1% in June, that every single month afterward, the Biden administration successfully brought down those numbers. Now, 2024, we can go January 3.1, February 3.2, March 3.5, April 3.4, May 3.3, June 3.0, July 2.9, August 2.5, September 2024, September 2.4, October 2.6, November 2.7, December 2.9, and January of 2025 3.0. That is what Donald Trump inherited when he took over from Biden. And then since then, we've seen inflation rise up to by 1.2%. And that's not including wholesale inflation specifically, which is over 6%. What you inherited in regards to inflation was a good economy. In regards to stock, it was a good economy. In regards to mortgage rates, it was decent. We got some of those lowered incrementally, and then it paused because of Donald Trump's tariffs and then the war in Iran.
I think we had the lowest tariffs. Now we're finally competing with other countries.
What?
We had the lowest tariffs, and I think we are now competing with other countries.
The lowest tariffs?
At one time or another, we had the lowest.
You know what a trade deficit is?
No.
Okay. So trade deficit, which the Trump administration has been touting around to the uneducated as being some negative, is when a...
Don't call me uneducated, please. I don't know a lot about some things, but I'm not uneducated.
I did not call
okay?
you uneducated.
You said uneducated, so you got to start
which
saying,
the Trump administration has been touting around to the uneducated. I in no way, shape, or form called you uneducated. We're about to find out, though. So in the trade deficit, it is when one country... It is when one country... She just ran.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
It'll never cease to amaze me how fucking sensitive these people are. Meanwhile, one of the biggest arguments against the left is that we're a bunch of crybabies. And they run over everything. Mind you, I never called her uneducated. Trump said he loves the uneducated. Trump said he doesn't like smart people don't like him. Mary Pepper, did you fix your service?
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. So I was on a walk, and I think I was on bad service.
Got you. You voted for Trump, correct?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I'm half and half.
Tell me what half you think is keeping you on the Trump plantation and the other half that is causing you to look differently.
Well, I would like to say that, like, for one, there's, like, a lot of promises that he promised in our community. Like, and I believe that he should have, like, at least told the truth of what he was going to do. But instead, he lied. And that was very, very naughty of him.
What did he lie about?
Well, he said that he was going to make America great again. He just basically made Cuba 2.0. And I like Cuba, but, the government from there is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Quite frankly. And the 50% that I still believe in him is I believe of his...
That's a goddamn troll. Calling you on the line, did you vote for Trump?
I did in fact vote for Trump. I'm willing to say that on record. I'm embarrassed by it, but I did vote for him in 2016, but not in 2020 or 2024.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
I abstained from voting because I moved to another state and I just did not feel interested in voting. I'll be honest with you.
You didn't feel interested in preserving whatever form of democracy was on the ballot in the 2024 election because you moved?
I was jaded by politics and I didn't feel the need to register. Really, it's kind of a better summation of it.
Are you aware of the significance of this year in terms of our politics?
In terms of the midterms and kind of what's happening in the country, more or less, I'll be honest with you, no. I'll just say it right. I'm kind of ignorant to what's happening in the political sphere, more or less, generally speaking.
So it's safe to say you're not registered?
Still not registered, no.
Thank you, Gucci, for the money guns. I appreciate you. Guys, if you click on my name in the top left corner, see what you can knock out in the gift gallery, C2. We are trying to push it back up to B5, which is going to require getting some fragments. So those of you who want to support that, please feel free to do so. And of course, the link's in the bio for the other ways, because TikTok does take a fuck ton of these. Okay. So you're not registered to vote. You have no intention of voting. My question to you is the same question I
God
have for other
bless
people
you.
who call into these streams. Thank you, Sharon, for the galaxy. If you ultimately don't care about politics and you don't understand its importance in your daily life or anyone else's, why are you watching and calling into the stream? And I'm not telling you to hang up. I'm just asking a legitimate question. I'm baffled as to why non-political people consume political spaces.
Well, I think that I think a better summation of my feelings is that I feel I know so much about so many things around the political sphere that I'm like paralyzed in making a decision one way or another. I don't feel like voting actually does change anything because I'm kind of woke to some of the bipartisan happenings of the world. Like, for example, like I do think that Democrats should win the midterms. I would like them to do so at this point, but I don't actually think it changes anything, and I won't be celebrating it assuming if it happens, right?
Do you say you're woke to bipartisanship?
I'm woke to the issues that arise between both parties, is what I meant by that.
What do you think
So I'm
woke means?
a little nervous, and I'm taking the skin off my chickpeas to make some hummus tonight.
What does woke mean?
Aware of things outside of the mainstream is, I think, how it used to kind of be seen back before the year 2014. Then after that, it kind of just meant having campus left-wing politics, which I think is kind of a bad summation of it.
Woke is to describe individuals, specifically in the black community, would be considered AAVE, as individuals who are aware of social injustice. It was to put people on to information that would benefit them. And then the political sense, being woke, would be aware of the right side to vote on, quite frankly. I'm just going to be pretty fucking blunt. If you believe, at least in the sentiments or the values of the Constitution and a democracy, then being woke would implore you to vote on behalf of the people who are willing to preserve it. Even if those individuals don't move the needle to where we want to go, they're not regressing. Does that make sense? Let's say you're a stepchild who has two parents you can live with. Your mom on one side, your dad on the other. You don't get to choose. I'm messing this up. You have two parents. You have on one side, one parent is pretty bad, and the other side, this parent is slightly less bad, at least tries, maybe gives you some additional TV privileges, and you can go out to like 9 o'clock at night, versus the other one says be home after school. You choose the one where you're going to have more access to. You choose the one you'll be able to, I guess straight up in some cases, weaponize more. That is what American politics is. We're choosing between two shitty parents, but one of them at the bare minimum is at least trying to maintain what we have versus taking away more. And there's individuals in the side who's trying to maintain some things, fundamentally changing the perception of the party by putting forward individuals who actually want to move the needle forward. Whereas the individuals on the Republican side are quite literally saying, Donald Trump specifically, the best times in the United States was in the 1920s or 30s. And these were the best periods. Periods where people like me couldn't drink out the same goddamn water fountain as white folks.
Right. I can understand your mentality. I empathize with it. That's why I'm not going to come on here and be like, you're stupid for believing in politics or for voting. I don't believe that at all. I take people to the polls. I want them to vote, even if I think they're voting poorly or against what I think would be better of the two, but I don't feel convicted to vote.
Did you just say you take people to the polls?
Beyond the point, I believe we're beyond the point that voting can be helpful in any sense. I believe the Democratic Party is so beholden to, say, foreign and billionaire, and I consider billionaires as foreign because I don't consider them really American at this point, I'll be honest with you, but that's kind of a different topic. They're so beholden to, I'm just going to say, foreign actors on democracy that they're unable to be anything other than destructive. I think that both parties are running us down a kind of end of the American experiment at high speed. I think Trump is kind of bashful about it, and the Democrats would be kind of sneaky about it. I think whenever you look at American history, Obama, for example, I voted for him actually in 2012, my first time I could vote. I voted for him because he said he was going to get rid of the Patriot Act. He talked about our debt crisis, our growing deficit, and he actually did make strides to fix what George Bush made errors on in his first 4 years. And suddenly in his last 4 years, we got kind of a
recession.
Fake Obamacare. Obamacare was not what was promised to us. It
also,
was kind
he
of
never
just
ran off of
faux
ending the
thing.
Patriot Act. There was specific criticism that he gave to it.
I'm sorry, you got really quiet there. What's that?
He never ran off of ending the Patriot Act. It was about, in some cases, reforming aspects of it, which he actually was able to do.
Yeah, but then we codified it into like indefinite law. His version that he signed in 2011 was like way worse.
That would all be a decision
or 2013,
made by
I think, was way
Congress.
worse than the original Patriot Act. Far more reaching. The FISA courts and this kind of warrantless spying. I mean, do you not see that being problematic? Do you not see that being kind of against the foundation of America?
It's set to expire currently. 702 of that section. Mike Johnson and the Trump administration has literally been begging for it to be extended under the guise of protecting Americans. I don't care what previous presidents before me did. That is irrelevant to me. I don't live in that time period, at least not anymore. I live in the now.
Okay. And I'm just telling you.
Did you say that you drive people to the polls?
What's that?
Did you say that you drove people to the polls?
Yeah, I volunteered to drive a number of the elderly and those who are disabled to vote in 2016 and then
Why would you
2020.
do that when you ultimately believe their vote means nothing?
Because to them, their vote didn't mean anything, and
so you're
just
fine
because
with
I
entertaining
think,
people's
just because I have an
delusions.
opinion doesn't mean I should force my opinion on others. If they believe their vote
Well,
matters,
it's not about
I'm going
forcing
to
it
make
on
sure they
others.
vote.
You don't have to participate in the game that is politics, which is driving people to a poll to vote on behalf of things that you believe ultimately don't matter. By your logic, that would be you entertaining a delusion. I don't think that's healthy for anyone.
There's plenty of people who are Jehovah's Witness or Muslim or this, that, and the other thing, and I think that they're also in a delusion, right? But I'm not going to go into their synagogues or their churches or their kingdom halls and stomp my feet and tell them that they're stupid.
No, that doesn't mean you have to drive them to church or a mosque either.
Yeah, but if they were disabled, if I had a disabled Muslim neighbor, I'd drive him to the mosque, I think is what they call it. But, I'd drive him to the mosque.
W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. Try taking care of 18 to 20-year-old kids without proper funding and support you. Simple. Yeah, that last guy said that on average $60-something thousand is enough for a teacher. When I believe the national average is what? Is it 60? Maybe 70? 50, 60? Like, you can't do anything with that money. It's crazy what these people say. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Jonna for the $20 Venmo. Hope you're having a good day. I'm doing my best, John. I hope you're doing well. W's in the chat to you.
I just hope I come off less stupid than the last woman.
Yeah, definitely doing that well. YouTube, do me a favor.
It's a very low bar, but
it really is. YouTube, do me a favor. First off, if you are a YouTube moderator, you need to go to the mod chat right now. Go to the mod chat, because I posted over the weekend rules for moderating. And I've been noticing and getting complaints about y'all doing too fucking much in the chat. You do not get to mute people because you have a disagreement with them. We have rules for that. And if I get more complaints, I'm just going to start fucking unmodding people. Read the rules, confirm that you have. And I swear to God, if I get more complaints, I'm going to get more pissed off. What are we doing, guys? Come on.
Now, can I say just kind of on a friendly note, and I don't mean this sarcastically, I genuinely mean this. I hope that you have a fantastic Juneteenth coming up. I believe it should be an American holiday, so I want to wish you a happy Juneteenth. I don't mean that sarcastically, I promise. I know I sound like a white guy. I am a white guy, but I genuinely do mean that, though. I think it should be an American holiday, and I hope that you have I don't know what the right word is. I don't know if it's supposed to be happy, because I think it's kind of a sorrowful day for me, but, obviously the context is different, right? But I wanted to say that before I jumped off, or I got booted off.
What if I told you that your vote could have preserved things like Juneteenth?
Is Juneteenth gone?
No, it's not gone. No government can take it away. But the lack of
I was just saying that they removed the
violations
recognition
of
of it?
Black history and individuals have very much being championed by the actions of this administration. If you respect things like Juneteenth, then you would clearly, I would argue, more than, no disrespect to you, more than just words, It would be cool if you actually respected it by voting on behalf of the people who want to actually preserve those holidays, who want to preserve Black history, who want to acknowledge the men, women, and other who made Juneteenth a thing. Does that make sense? It's cool to say I like you,
again,
like you tell your
that's why
girlfriend you like her.
empathize with
It's
the
cool to
position.
say you like your girlfriend, but you know it would be even cooler if you showed her that you liked her. Actions speak louder than words.
For me, you know, is my vote at the action though? You know, it's what's that with the phrase? It's if you can't do anything at all, but there's nothing you can do, you do your best, right? I try to do my best. That's why I try to help people get to the polls. That's why I try to feed the homeless when I can. It's when I try to, you know, if I'm just driving, I see someone who looks like they're down on their luck or something, I say, hi, how you doing? Right? I give them a smile, recognize their humanity. I feel like there's way more positivity that comes from that than from voting. Truly, I just, you know, I think about
You can take people to
like,
okay,
they can't
cool,
take
got you.
Juneteenth away from you. I totally agree.
You can
They can't.
take
No matter what they
people to
say
the
or do, they
polls.
can't take that
You
from
and
you.
your car can help take people to the polls, and you can also go to your polls and vote on a fund where the state allocates funding to assist people with getting to the polls as well. You're thinking on a micro level. You're only one guy, right? There's only so much you can do. Imagine if you're one vote alongside a collection of others that can times your efforts by 100, 1,000, 10,000. You try to help the homeless people and giving them meals and then maybe participating in something that gets them housed. You know, it would help your efforts at minimum. Voting against the individual who put them in a more precarious position than in prior administrations because we don't have so much that we allocate to homeless funding. Because the first thing Donald Trump did in D.C. is order the National Guard to go tear apart people's tents and put them in detention centers and take away money to help them with their drug issues, help them on the path to rehab and recovery. Your micro level efforts are appreciated in your community, I'm sure. But on a macro level, all it takes is one vote. One vote.
Yeah, but my problem is when I look at the solutions, right, when I see, for example, California has a supermajority of Democrats, and I see the efforts that they put towards their homeless, that's not solving homelessness. I don't see that as being, I don't see their solutions as being loving. I see them in many ways as being enabling, and in other times directly harmful.
$45 billion went towards addressing the homeless problem in the fourth largest economy in the world, more than any other state. And Democrats, or California specifically, just because it's a Democratic majority doesn't mean it's perfect. There are still individuals there who are in it for themselves. There's still corruption. The point of me telling you to vote Democrat is not because of the issues that they have. It's because of what they advocate for. It's because of the individuals in the party, upcoming or even folks who are changing their tune, who are trying to make it actually work for the people. That's the point. This entire thing is a marathon. We keep stopping every 4 years and saying, what I want isn't happening, so I'm just going to give up. And that actively makes the country worse. And if you're in here consuming all this content anyway, you might as well put it to good use. Anyway, I appreciate your call, man. I'm going to move on to the next guest. I don't know what to say to these people. I really don't. Because again, you're in these lives, you're soaking up all this shit for entertainment. I have an issue with that. These conversations, what we're talking about, isn't for your entertainment. These are real lives being affected. And as soon as I dropped this other guy, this fucker left. As soon as I was going to talk to him, this fucker left. He was chirping in the comments too. W's in the chat to Dean for the $1 Venmo. California houselessness is down 3% since the beginning of 2005. That is correct. He's back. Y'all know who this person is? I don't know. Let it ride. Did you vote for
Trump?
Trump?
I ran because you had me on hold. I didn't come on here to chat with you. I said your mods need to be better. That's all I wanted to say.
You came up here to whine?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's all you look
better
for
at
is
what?
whining. So
I mean, you guys are
better at muting people who don't.
What I'm looking for. What am I
better
mods
at
need to be
muting
better
people
at?
who don't agree with you?
Yes. Well, so let me help you out. What we do is we mute chirpers. We mute those little Trump great.
Yeah, because you just want your sheep on there. Right? I got it.
Because we encourage actual conversation between humans to humans versus Russian bots, which you clearly aren't. So you can continue to complain about my mods actively impacting how you came up on this box, which is their job, or you can keep crying. Which one?
Yes. I'll actively complain about your terrible mods. Yeah. The ones who are snowflakes, just like you. Yeah. Aww. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy who waited in the request box and then sat up here for a couple minutes just to whine is complaining about.
Isn't that what you want?
That's funny.
Isn't that what you want?
Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. That's fucking funny to me. Hey, I waited all this time to complain about your mods. And you guys are the snowflakes. You guys are the criers. Thanks, buddy. That's like, yo, I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. But that dick over there looked real good. Like, happy Pride. I feel like you guys just walk back. You walk back the shit you say in the same sentence. It's the craziest thing to me. In like one breath, they'll be like, okay. I talk about this all the time and Republicans' definitions. Thank you, Sharon, for the DJ glasses. It's like, in one breath, they talk about like left masculinity. The left has no testosterone and they're a bunch of whiny crybabies. And then they spend 30 minutes crying about Biden. Biden did this. Biden did that. Democrats destroyed the country. Trump saved it. Right? It's like, it's so contradictory to me. It's so contradictory. Or I don't like Democrats did this, and Trump is strong. The guy who shits his pants, the guy who just whines and cries every single day on Truth Social, but social media platforms, who still runs and has every single event or speech as if he's campaigning, talking about Biden, the man who's currently battling stage 4 prostate cancer, and has nothing to do with politics right now, still blaming everything on Biden. Do you guys remember when he took over the Oval Office and they literally picked back up on the lowering prices from the Biden administration and said, look at Trump's economy. Look at this happening. Look at this happening. Look at that happening. And then the second something went wrong, well, we're trying to fix Biden's economy. We got to fix Biden's economy. Never mind, I've spent the last couple of months talking about how great my economy is because I'm implementing my policies. Something goes wrong, it goes right back to Biden's economy. Every single Senate confirmation or hearing in Congress, what did they say? But Biden, but Biden, but Biden. One Democrat, I forgot what clip it was, got so fucking mad. They were just like, yo, stop talking about Biden. Oh, it was HUD, Scott Turner. The individuals who was questioning Scott Turner, who was asked about what his new blueprint plan was to actually address some of the complaints that he was making in HUD housing. And the dude said, well, the government shut down because of Democrats, so I couldn't get it out. That was like October. It is March or April? I believe it's April. April of 2025. Even before the shutdown, you would have had 9 to 10 months to do what you said you were doing. We're blaming a 40-something day shutdown on you and your inability to do your job. Okay. I think they forgot about Liberation Day. That part. I don't know. They will literally say one thing on the same breath. Democrats are the party of pedophiles and Pizzagate, and Trump is protecting all of them. That's why I hate the Democrats. What? Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. W's in the chat to Wesley for the $5 super chat. I am not a mod on this channel, but I know the mods on this channel. I love the mods on this channel. They keep the liars from just spamming lies. Sometimes they do too much, but you're right. I appreciate my YouTube mods. They do a lot of work over there. W's in the chat to y'all. Plus, he was complaining about the TikTok one specifically. That's where he was at. King E. Make your new argument today, bro. Try to make it less pathetic than the last time.
Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, support Trump. Still support Trump. Did you see the UFC event going on last weekend?
Nope.
You didn't see that, man?
No, I don't care about that. I don't care about things that actually impact Americans in a positive way.
Yeah, no, that affected me and many Americans in a positive way.
I'm very sure that watching two men, sweaty and shirtless, fight each other impacted you in a positive way. I have no doubt.
I mean, no,
Happy
we don't
Pride.
look at it.
Happy Pride.
No, we don't,
I did not pay attention to that event.
No, we don't look at it at two sweaty men. We look at it as a great American.
So there weren't two sweaty men fighting in front of Donald Trump and his audience on the White House lawn?
I don't think they were sweaty. No, there were a couple KOs, early KOs. I don't think they were sweaty.
So none of them sweated?
I think there were potentially, any activity that you do is you could sweat 100%. You could sweat, but I don't look at two sweaty men wrestling with each other. I thought that it was a great event performed at the White House that Donald Trump was part of, and he contributed to the American people. And hey, man, it was
what did that
phenomenal,
event
man.
do for the American people?
It gave us happiness at the end of the day. It gave us, something to look forward to, something to be proud of. That hey, man, we are Americans. This is what America is built on. This is what America
built on violence and spectacle.
This is what
the Trump administration champions violence and spectacle. Yeah,
no,
that's
absolutely
correct.
not, man.
No, that is actually correct. You're 6,000% correct. The Trump administration was all about performances versus actual policy and legislation that impacts the average American, which is exactly why you guys know infinitely more about the UFC event and who was there, and clearly not whether they were sweaty or not.
Man.
You know more about that versus the executive orders that Donald Trump has passed in the last week to actively make your life worse, to make your life harder. The consistent lines that he's making on the ceasefire deal in Iran as your gas prices are still staying pretty damn stagnant versus lowering it down.
Well,
you care more about two white men, or I don't know if they're white, two men on the front lawn of the White House fighting versus the economy going to the shitter.
Oh my God. You're saying that he's making my life harder? I don't think he is. I think, specific, individual people are making their own lives. Oh, thankfully I do own a vehicle, and I'm grateful to be able to.
When's the last time you filled up in that vehicle?
Actually, yesterday I was driving from Los Angeles back to Phoenix. It took
and what were gas prices?
It was about $80 to fill up the entire tank.
And what was it 2 months ago?
I don't know, maybe $60.
Oh, sounds like you were impacted negatively by the actions of the Trump administration. Dude. That's crazy.
If you're really letting that affect you and yourself and your
gas prices don't necessarily impact me the same way because I barely drive anywhere. Regardless, the last time I did have to fill up, paying $50 to fill up my hybrid versus the 20-something I was paying before really impacted me, especially considering that it didn't have to happen.
Okay, are you still able to operate a vehicle and drive on the roads? Yeah, right, correct. So aren't you just grateful to be able to do that? I mean, why are you whining?
That gratefulness has nothing to do with the Trump administration and my unique criticism of how he negatively impacted my wallet.
You are whining and complaining about someone negatively impacting your wallet when people out there in Afghanistan cannot even do that.
Oh, wow. I love this card. I love this card. Bro. Did you know that there are people who live in holes right now in other countries? Yeah. That's correct. There are people who live in holes right now, bro. You're sitting here complaining about barely being able to afford things. You could be in a hole right now. You should be grateful. You should get on your knees, bro.
I am grateful.
Bro, get on your knees, bro. Get on your knees, bro, and be like,
I'm not gonna
Donald Trump, I am so grateful that I live in a country where I'm not in a dirt hole yet. And how dare I complain about what you directly did to negatively impact my wallet, which would contribute to me getting closer and closer to inevitably living in a hole or a hut or under a bridge because of the rising cost of living. But I'm not there yet, Daddy Trump. So thank you for not fucking it up that aggressively, that quickly to put me in a hole, Daddy Trump. W's to you. Amen.
I honestly think it's a net positive.
I'm glad you think the rising cost of living is a net positive.
You know why? Because it's making people think, hey, outside the box, hey, I can't just rely on my 9 to 5. I may have to do a hobby to potentially earn an additional income. And then, hey, guess what? They're going to be able to do a hobby that they like to do. And guess what? Maybe they can actually, make that hobby into something big. You know, and it could be a blessing in disguise. You never know. Just like what you're doing with your TikTok live.
The unfortunate circumstances of the Trump
if it wasn't-
administration's adverse effects on your life isn't a positive.
If it wasn't for Donald Trump, you wouldn't be able to do this, right? So you should be thanking Daddy Trump.
I'm sorry. Do you think politics started and ended with Donald Trump?
No, I mean, that's all you talk about is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States.
Right. That's all you talk about is if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be.
No, it's not all I
be
talk
doing this.
about. And friendly reminder that Donald Trump is the sitting fucking president of the United States.
That's all you talk about.
Shauna, I think it's
That's all you
fucking
talk about.
hysterical that you just sent that, considering that I
That's all you talk
literally
about.
was putting it up on the screen. W's in the chat to Shauna for the 35. Can we finally kick off the P ban? I'm absolutely done with King E's ridiculous nonsense and existence. I'm surprised he hasn't fucking ran yet. W's in the chat to you, Shauna. W's in the chat to you. The permaban is officially up to the links in the bio. My guy.
Oh my God.
My guy.
Oh
My guy.
God, dude.
Why do you have an
really need
issue with me
$100
talking
that
about the president of the United States as a
really need
political
$100?
commentator? Who am I supposed to talk about, King?
You really need $100?
Who am I
that
supposed
bad,
to
dude?
talk about, King?
You really need $100 that bad?
I mean, everyone needs money, so yeah. What kind of question is that? Do you really need $100? Do you expect me to say no? Dude, I can have $70,000 cash right now, and I'm still going to want another $100. Are you one of those people? Wait, hold on. You literally just said earlier. You said Trump is making people have to go get other jobs, and from those jobs they can blow up so they can get more money. And then you're criticizing me for getting more money.
You know what's so freaking sad is these people that are in your chat who are complaining about Donald Trump making them more poor and not being able to afford anything are the ones who are still giving you more money. I mean, it's financial literacy.
I think people show their
not there.
support to creators who are advocating
Financial
and fighting
literacy
the
is
good
not
fight
within
on
your
a
chat.
daily basis. Yeah.
Financial
And I think that
literacy is not
individuals who
within your
have
chat.
disposable income to pass to me should be celebrated because despite the
God.
actions of the Trump administration, they're still able to
Broke people
support
gonna stay
independent
broke.
creators like me who come
Broke
up here
people
and
gonna
school
stay broke
people
and
like
complain
you
like
on
what
a
they're
daily
complaining about. Just
basis.
like you,
So
man.
I want to ask you a question.
You are a grifter.
I want to ask you a
upon
question.
All these people,
Because
man.
of the level of
What's that?
resilience that came out of the black
You're a grifter
community
upon
after
these
the
people.
likes of slavery. Thank you, Shauna. I got it. Because of the resilience that came from the black community after slavery ended in the United States, do you think slavery was a good thing?
I think slavery was it's continuing today.
Do you think because of the resilience that the black community developed, or more so developed, that they developed after slavery, do you think that made slavery a good thing?
Is it only black people who are enslaved, or is it white people? as
Talking
well
about
who
chattel
are
slavery uniquely in the United States against the black
You're-
community.
You're bringing the race aspect topic into play. Okay, just like
Yeah. So
I get
again,
it.
do you think
Accountability?
that's because of the
Accountability?
resilience? My guy,
Have you-
I don't
have you
care.
ever
My
heard-
guy,
have you ever heard
I don't give a shit.
accountability?
I don't give a shit what demographic it is. Do you think slavery was a
Accountability?
good thing because of the resilience that many of those marginalized communities developed afterwards?
That question makes zero sense.
No,
my
it makes
guy.
a ton of sense. You literally
No, it
said
doesn't.
because of the actions of this administration, it could lead to people going out and doing other things or side gigs or
100%.
whatnot that could benefit their
100%.
lives. So your entire your entire basis was bad thing can contribute to innovation.
It's a
So bad thing is good,
100%.
right?
It depends on what you use the bad thing for. 100%.
It depends on what you use the bad thing for. Hold on, no. It's not about what you use the bad thing for. We're talking about the bad thing inherently. So
it's-
tell
it's
me
about what you use
again,
the bad
if
thing
the
for.
resilience
A bad
of
thing could become a
marginalized
good thing.
communities who would have experienced slavery, the additional resilience that was built by that community is a byproduct of slavery, does that make slavery good?
Could be a good thing. 100%. Yeah.
Could be a good thing.
Could be a good thing. It's based on your mindset. 100%.
W's in the chat to brief for the 5. One job should be enough.
$100.
6,000%. W's in the chat to Gucci for the $10 Venmo. I just want it known that he admitted that watching sweaty half-dressed men put on a show makes the MAGA men happy. He sure fucking did. He sure fucking did. It's Pride Month though. Happy Pride. Dubs in the chat to Valerie for the $20. OMG, he is such a windbag. He usually runs. I'm surprised he's been here this long. This guy always runs for me in several of my mutuals as well. It's actually super embarrassing. Dubs in the chat to Dean for the $5 Venmo. Princess needs to go. So, got you. So, can you say slavery was a good thing for the record?
$30 more, man.
Can you say slavery was a good thing for the record?
$30 more. Hey, everyone, give him $30 more.
Can you say slavery was a good thing for the record?
$30 more. We need $30 more. Come on, guys.
Can you say slavery was a good thing for the record?
Come on, give me $30 more, please. Please, $30 more.
Hey, my guy, I need you to stand on what you said. Can you say slavery was a good thing for the record?
Yeah, it's based off your mindset on how you could take from it. Yeah, slavery could be a good thing for you, 100%.
Okay, got you. So here's what you just did. Here's what no. You just hey. That's not saying slavery is a good thing. My guy, you just said two different things. Let me educate you on the two different things that you said. You said you can make a good thing out of anything based off your mindset. So someone making something good out of a horrible thing doesn't justify the horrible thing. I need you to track the conversation, okay? You literally just contradicted yourself. You cannot say slavery is a good thing and then follow up with saying that people did good things from slavery. Those are two different statements.
Yeah, man. Yeah, whatever you want to believe in. No.
It's literally about what you just said. Are you that? Wait, there's no way I just cooked you that quickly, so now you're over the conversation. Can you rebut what I just said? Dude,
you're a grown man loser.
Can you rebut what I just said?
You're a grown.
Or are you running out of arguments?
No, you're a grown man loser. Come on, 25 more.
Can you rebut what I just said, or are you running out of arguments already? Oh, that's fucking pathetic. W's in the chat to Wesley for the $5 super chat. UFC on the White House lawn gives Roman Collegium vibes. That part. That's literally what my non-political friend said that whole weekend. Like the bread and circus works on the low IQ. W's in the chat to Chamav for the $5 super chat. UFC on the White House lawn was disrespectful in the true Trump fashion to every single goddamn American. Because also he held up DC significantly. Like literally just did a bunch of stuff. W's in the chat to I can't even read your username. Y'all can keep it muted now. For the $2. Yeah, what Wesley says. W's in the chat to I read that one. Okay, I'm caught up. W's in the chat to the One Mighty Pen for the $5 super chat. Bot 8475 reporting for duty. Also, because Hector needs some money. Apparently, I need some money. If you want to help me with some money, do the money thing. W's in the chat to Marcus for the $5. Get this idiot out of here. Thank you so much, Marcus. W's in the chat to Robert for the $5 cash app for P-Ban. Oh, I had another one. W's in the chat to what?
Can I turn my camera on?
He got a flag. We hit it, and I'm gonna ban him. But he got a flag. I couldn't keep him up any longer and play the permaban song. But he got a flag. Let me finish these up. W's in the chat to Karen for the $39 cash app. He's got to go. W's in the chat to Gucci for the $10 Venmo. Now he's doing that thing they all do when they lose. Literally. W's in the chat to what? Who the fuck just sent me $411? Hold on. No, that can't be right. I think that's my check going through. Hold on. Let me double check this. There's no fucking way. No. That's my payment processing. Okay, yeah. Anyway, to all of the donors, thank you guys so much. Mods, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the permaban on that individual. Hit him a block. Give him a block. Bro said slavery is a good thing. So there's a more aggressive ways I could have went about that. But I don't want to get graphic. But essentially, individuals like him, conservative, Republican, right-leaning men are fucking gross. Because these are the individuals who say, your parents beating the fuck out of you? Oh, let me remove this sticker. Your parents beating the fuck out of you? That was good. Character development. Your mom telling you that you're a piece of shit who will never be anything, blowing smoke in your face, getting you cancer from secondhand smoking, that was a good thing because what you learned from it. You learned not to smoke because of that. I don't want to do that. That's a little too violent. People put hands on you. That was a good thing because afterwards you went and took self-defense classes. If only they didn't do that. That's fucking gross. Because all of the growth, all of the good things, all the accomplishments that you would say or incorrectly align with the harm that individuals caused you could have been done independently from said trauma. You could have got self-defense classes without getting beat up. You could have strengthened your own, I guess, I don't know.
God bless you.
Thank you, Noel, for the gifts. You could have strengthened your own sense of self-worth without people devaluing it for years. You could have, we could have, black people specifically, been a goddamn fucking Wakanda if white people weren't so intimidating by our demographic that they made us endure 400 years of goddamn slavery and still actively fight against our equity in 2026. None of those horrible things had to happen. God, you guys are gross. Absolutely gross. Trump supporters request up in the box you the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. W's in the chat to Ashley for the $25 Venmo. He brought up white people and then cried like a bitch when you said black people for bringing up race. He literally did. He literally did. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Gucci. Thank you, Karen, Robert, Val. Did I miss any? Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Bree. WCL, Shauna. You will never hear from him again. I'm so sick and tired. That guy goes live to live doing that. He's a horrible debater. Horrible debater. Shout out to y'all. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. We got roughly another hour and a half while we're here. Is Erica going live? No, ask her. Share out the live with your friends and family. Also repost and add to your story. Knock out the Divine Fingers gift goal at the top there. Get us boosted out in the FYP. Send your daily heart me's if you have not already. And of course, links in the bio are the best ways to support the platform. I want to go over our memberships really quickly. It's different on different platforms. In the Discord, which is free to join, you can become a subscriber there. Discord, you can subscribe to. TikTok, you may become a super fan. And YouTube, you could become a member. I prefer the YouTube memberships and the Discord subscriptions. The reason being is because you guys pay less and you get more perks. TikTok takes too much and they're charging you $10 a month for a super fan. I think that's fucking outrageous. Because if I was to make y'all subscribe, I'd start sending feet pics, and I don't want to do that. So subscribe to the Discord and become a member on the YouTube, and that's one of the better ways to support me, okay? Because I don't want to send feet pics. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I want to do, okay? It's not what I want to do. I'm just saying, for $10 a month, you can go to OnlyFans. You can do crazy things with $10 a month. I think it's crazy that TikTok is asking for $10 a month for perks. YouTube, it's $5. Discord, it's $4 and $6 for the accomplished level. Go there. And I get more. And I get more. Thank you so much, Ash, for the swan. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well, Ash. I haven't seen you in a while. You and your babies. Also, if you're over on the tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Of course, the links in the bio is going to take you to my shop. If you want to get yourself some merchandise, such as from the New Testament Democrat line, Kamala would never, 6,000%, so on and so forth. Y'all, when I was in DC this weekend, I'm not going to lie, I saw something that vexed me to my core. You want to talk about indoctrination of children? Because that's the big talking point. The LGBTs are taking your kids. They're all in your kids. They're teaching them how to be gay at 3, right? What do we have to say? Because you guys have so much energy for flags and rainbows and all that different shit. What do Republicans have to say about children, literal children, running around in Make America Great Again hats? It's the craziest shit to me. I live in Texas, and I saw more MAGA hats concentrated in the areas that I was in for 2 days than I've seen in the entire going on 4 years that I've lived in Texas. And I'm talking kids. Imagine putting the hat of a fucking rapist, a xenophobe, a pedophile, a grifter, a con man. Imagine putting his merchandise on your hat and having them wear it proudly. You want to talk about fucking indoctrination? Let's start there. It is sad. I was pissed off. I was literally pissed off. I wanted to stop some of these fucking people. I was advised not to. But I wanted to stop some of these people because no shame. No shame whatsoever. And then, God forbid, these children grow up and they realize that their parents are on the wrong side of history. They have to look back at photos where your parents force you to put on this gross merchandise. I don't know, man. It just bothered the fuck out of me. It bothered me that you guys are actually proud to put that man shit on your kids. You guys are the true indoctrinators. Hold on. Let's do this here. Okay, got it. That is indoctrination at the highest level. But they never want to be called a dumbass. Literally. Forcing that shit on your kids, that's gross. That's actually gross. Am I still banned? How was your debate with Andrew Wilson? I mean, it's a 40-minute video that he literally put up on his profile for some reason. That shit is hilarious. I appreciate him for bringing in extra people for me to debate. Oh, we still have to do a video about that. The fact that this man actually posted him not answering basic questions. The fact that he actually made an argument and it didn't substantiate it is the funniest thing to me. I have to make a couple videos, including on that one. Hey, Andrew, what is the net positive of zero migration in the United States? Simple question. Homie said, I like it. I like it. That's what I voted for. And I asked you what you voted for. I asked what the net positive is. Couldn't answer it. Then he finally came up with the wages thing and then made this ridiculous. The funniest thing about that argument with Wilson was when this man said that Walmart pays people less money based off if you get any type of welfare, any type of aid. And then I asked him, is that what you're saying? Then he said no. Then he said yes. Then he said no again. Then he made this argument of a subsidy, but the subsidy in no way, shape, or form presents you with two people, and based off of this person getting this much in SNAP, they get paid $7, and then this person gets paid $9. It was the fucking craziest thing. And he posted this shit. It's funny to me. I appreciate the exposure. Walmart, Indiana is paying only $14 an hour. Well, there's people who think that's a lot, apparently. There's people who think $14 an hour is a lot of money. Yikes. Remember Bill Clinton? Epstein had a painting of him wearing a dress just saying, yeah, you know what's crazy? Obama and Joe Biden never obstructed investigations into Bill Clinton. Trump hasn't obstructed investigations into himself. And the Clintons. This is what you guys miss. The Trump administration and their handling of the Epstein files is so embarrassing, considering that they're protecting the very same people that they have to make up in the files. The Democrats are the party of pedophiles? Okay, expose them. I'll wait. Make it make sense. And then the fact that you have to go back to presidents who the left at this current point in time may respect in some ways, but want better. Like, we're sitting here wanting AOC to run for president. If he was able to, we won Zoran Mamdani. And you go back to fucking centrists? We left them niggas behind in 20... We left them behind, bro. We move on. You're sitting here advocating for people that we've moved on from. I hate how much time I spend on this platform defending Biden. It truly pisses me off how much I have to defend the man, because I don't fucking like Biden. But I can't ignore the good that he did. And when you guys sit here and say that he was sleepy and this and that, I have to say something about it. I would much rather talk about the fact that the party moving forward, and some select individuals in the party moving forward, are the move. We don't give a fuck about Clinton, and we do like Obama. Obama's great. Also, y'all go to the Obama Presidential Center. I'm gonna go there over the summer. Immigrateful. Did you vote for Trump?
I can't vote. I have a green card.
You can't vote?
I cannot vote. I cannot vote. I have a green card.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yeah, you talking politics. I wanted to talk to you earlier, but I didn't get a chance to get in. You're talking about reforming the immigration system.
Okay.
You sound confused. and you look confused.
I just don't know what you want to talk about as a person who can't vote or have any real impact on our politics.
So just because I'm an immigrant and I have a green card, I should not engage in political dialogue in America?
You can.
Is that your take?
But my sticker says Trump supporters regret your vote.
Yeah, so I'm a Trump supporter. I can support Trump while not being able to vote.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Right?
Now I'll entertain you. At least you're a supporter. Okay, cool. I'm curious as to why you, a green card
I'm glad I made
holder,
the threshold.
supports Donald Trump.
For me personally, number one, immigration stance.
Oh.
Yeah, what you Democrats are advocating for, it's a slap in the face for every legal immigrant in America.
Explain.
Simple. You're against enforcing immigration law. You're against securing the border. You are against having ICE detention
law the
facilities.
Democrats are against enforcing?
Title 8, INA.
Title 8.
Yeah. There's the immigration law in the United States.
Explain.
The Immigration and Nationality Act.
I'm
that
aware
is
of
the.
what it is. Explain how we refuse to endorse it.
Simple. We had an open border for 4 years under Biden. You are against deporting immigrants. You are against enforcing immigration law. Everything that you advocated earlier in your life. You can sigh, but you advocated against enforcing immigration law. Open border is when we allow tens of thousands of people to cross unvetted and unchecked.
Okay. So Border Patrol agents, upon looking at people trying to enter the country illegally, were instructed to let them in, hand them some cookies and crackers, give them mats and hats and water?
Not necessarily. They were just not able to patrol the southern border due to having to babysit all the...
So they were asked to sit in one place and not scour the border for individuals who were coming through? Is that what it was?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
I'll answer all your questions, but you have to allow me to answer your questions.
Sure, so long as you answer it.
Yeah, of course. I was getting to it. So Border Patrol agents had to babysit all the child arrivals under the Biden administration, and they were not able to fully patrol the southern border. I'm in Texas. I was at the southern border. I have plenty of video evidence from right there.
Yeah, those are some Border Patrol agents may have been called over to address the rising numbers of individuals who were detained, to address the separation and vetting of folks who allege that this person was their parent or their kid, and that doesn't change the fact that
majority of
very
them
much still on the border. And if anything, that was an indicator of a shortage in Border Patrol agents, and the Biden-Harris administration did pretty good jobs in incentivizing more hiring in that department with super substantial bonuses. But that in no way, shape, or form
they did not.
is an indicator of welcoming in undocumented migrants or stopping them from actually enforcing the law if they had a shortage of people who are able to go out and catch anyone.
Not even close. Thousands of people were crossing the border with no Border Patrol agents in sight. Yeah, that is absolutely wild.
Well, we have a very big border. And again, when you have a shortage of individuals who are, again, overwhelmed, they may not be able to address all the areas that you would like. That's what happens. Yeah.
So when we tried to build the border wall, you guys were against it.
Because the border wall would not have helped.
Of course it did. Everywhere where the border wall was erected, the crossings dropped significantly.
Not just say, I'm sorry, what?
I said where we completed the sections of the southern border where they built the wall, the border crossings dropped.
What evidence do you have to support the claim that sections of the wall had decreased immigration in that region? Better yet, I'm going to, for the sake of this argument,
they decreased immigration. That's not what I said.
You're putting words in my mouth.
No,
what did you just say?
It decreased illegal crossings. I said it decreased illegal crossings.
A part of him is an illegal crossing an aspect of immigration?
In a way, yes.
Oh. So we said the same thing with different words?
I guess so. I'll give you that.
Oh, okay. Thanks, buddy. So...
You're welcome, buddy.
What evidence do you have to support the claim that near border wall construction or walls that currently exist, there was decreased immigration in that region? Because I want to be super duper clear. I could agree with that just based off of theory. And I can say that they're less likely to go to an area where there was a wall versus an area where there wasn't a wall. But it doesn't change the fact if there was more of a wall around said region, they would still do all the other things that they did to cross it, which is going under, climbing over it in 9 seconds as seen in some videos, so on and so forth. What matters with a wall is the enforcement of it. The individuals in the region who can then deter it with cooperation from a wall that would halt them, not a wall in and of itself.
Congressional testimony from Border Patrol agents.
Congressional testimony from Border Patrol agents. And they said
Correct.
what?
That where the border wall was built, crossings dropped significantly.
Again, so this is speculation.
No, this is from the professionals on the ground, which are Border Patrol agents.
Yeah,
if we cannot take what Border Patrol agents are saying,
USC 1158 is.
Okay. All right.
What is your source on these testimonies?
Border Patrol agents testimony.
I asked what your source
right?
was.
So
I'm gonna
take.
You just said that it was agents who testified in Congress.
Correct.
What
Correct,
hearing
yeah.
is this? Who are these agents? What is the date?
All the congressional hearings that we had in Congress under the Biden.
Yeah, I don't know if that happened if you can't name one.
Well, you can Google it yourself.
I can Google it myself. Did you not just Google it yourself?
Absolutely. I did not just Google it
You
myself.
didn't just Google
right
it? So
now,
you're
no.
literally talking out of your ass.
I'm not talking out of my ass.
You are literally speculating that Border
No, I'm
Patrol
not
agents
speculating at all.
were at sections of the border where there was a wall,
so
and
is
the
your-
wall deterred it. That's what you just told me.
So
you
is
said
your
you didn't
argument that
Google
if I
it.
cannot
You
give
said
you
you
a
had
specific
no
day and
source.
time
You
when
said
Border
every
Patrol-
single
That's not what I said.
congressional hearing.
You're putting
You're
words in my mouth, which is
literally
typical of how you
speculating,
guys
bro.
are debating.
My guy, you're literally speculating.
I'm not speculating at all. I
You're
made a
literally
statement.
speculating. Check this out.
I
Check
made
this
a
out.
statement
Check
that
this
can
out.
be very
Smarter
easily
border
verified,
wall
that
technology
people testified
can
in Congress
contribute
that work for the Border Patrol
to
agents,
stronger
and they
immigration
testified in the
enforcement.
congressional hearings
What do you?
that where the wall was built,
my guy.
they created
I
the
don't care about your
Ball
speculation.
It's
Okay,
very
I
simple,
don't care
but
about
it's
your
not speculation,
speculation.
it's
I'm gonna
fact.
give you
It's
sources.
something
I
that
know.
I
I
said.
know it's facts in your mind. Okay, here's an actual fact. 1.5 to 1.8 billion dollars that the Biden-Harris administration were able to get Mexico to invest in for smarter border wall technology, radars and sonars and cameras and so on and so forth, that would have done infinitely more for actually addressing some of the immigrants who were being encountered at the border versus putting up a wall in areas where no one would be there to stop the people crossing. That is an objective fact. That is a document that I can pull up right now and prove in regards to that investment. And that is something we can even look at over the course of 2024 that may have contributed to the decreased encounter rate.
Not even
You've
close.
just been saying, I believe this because it's been in every
That's
single
not what I said.
congressional hearing, the ones that I can't
You're
cite.
putting words in my mouth.
No,
you're putting
I'm not.
words in my
I'm
mouth,
not.
and you're
You
being
can't
very
prove it, so
disingenuous.
it's speculation.
Yes, there's nothing to prove.
If
This
you
is what
can't
I said
prove it,
is
it's
very easily
speculation.
verifiable.
It's very easily verifiable. So then why haven't you verified
is.
it yet?
What do you mean why I haven't verified it
If
yet,
it's
man?
very easily verifiable, why haven't you verified it yet?
I don't understand the question. Can you be a little
You
more
don't
specific?
understand the question? No problem.
No.
Let me help you
Go
out.
ahead.
You
Okay.
said this is very easily verifiable
Yeah.
information.
Go Google and put
I've been
CBP
asking
agent
you to
testimony in
verify it this
Congress. That's
entire
it.
time, and you're
I
now
can't
asking
verify
me
it because
to,
in order to
you
verify
can't
it, I would have
verify
to
it?
give- Why are you yelling at me?
What do you mean you can't verify it?
Yelling doesn't make you right.
I'm just passionate, bro. I'm not yelling at you in an
you're
angry
not.
fashion.
You're being a douche, but it's okay. It's the typical
I'm sure.
leftist
I'm sure.
behavior.
I know you don't like loud
In order-
voices. No
in
problem.
order
No
to
problem.
answer-
Would
in
you
order to
rather me
answer your
talk
question-
softly?
Are you
Not to
done?
mention, the louder you get, the louder I
Are
have
you
to
done?
get, so I can ensure
I
that my
don't- I'm
base
not
hears
getting
me. By
loud
the
at
way,
all.
you've
I'm-
literally been yelling this entire time. I'm not getting loud at all. You're bored about that. That's
haven't.
what you've been doing this entire time. I just want to let you know.
Okay, you done? Or
No,
or
I'm
do you
not.
need a second?
So
to-
once
You're
again,
not.
if it's
Okay,
easily
bye.
verifiable information, are you gonna run? Yeah.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Trump supporters request up in the box. You, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Easily verifiable information that I will not verify. Easily verifiable information that I will not verify. Love it. Love it here. What's up, Manny?
Hey. Hey. I've seen him around. He won't let me up on his live. And then every live that I see him in, when I get in there, he is either kicked, dropped, or blocked. And he drops.
Wait,
and I
did he use me as me yelling as an excuse to run from you?
He won't let me up on his live. And then every live I see him in, someone sends me, hey, he's in this live, and I go in there, I request up, I get in, and then he's gone.
Damn shame. Damn shame. Erica cooked him before. It's clearly not hard. He's just going to say things. And then when you ask him to prove it, go look it up. Go look it up. Okay, sure, buddy. Cool.
It's not hard to cook him. It's not at all.
Yikes.
Okay, well, I'm looking around for MAGA anyways, because it's boring.
You hunting?
Yeah, but there's no MAGA lives. The majority of people are either talking still about Carmelo Anthony, or they're now talking about the tragic mother unalive for the diapers, Pampers. Or if there is MAGA live, they're yelling at each other about whether or not the the MOU is the JCPOA or not, and in denial about the $300 billion. Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
The one that was basically confirmed by JD Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the literally watched the clip of The View. A minute into him speaking, I paused and I was like, this motherfucker's running for goddamn for the presidency.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
That's all I got from watching him and hearing him speak. I mean, obviously he's like, he didn't say he loves inflation. He loves inflation is going down. And it's like, JD Vance is fucking running for goddamn president. This is like, this is it. This is his campaign. I hate it. I hated it. But yeah, there is no Trump supporter lives.
Unfortunately, we're looking to see if we can catch some more now. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-53. Oh, shit. Oh. 5321. And those of you over here on the TikTok side, there's literally about 600 of you here. Can I get y'all to get me to 300,000 likes, please? Can we tap like you like me? Y'all are tapping like I'm okay. I need y'all to tap like you like me, please. I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. I have some clips here we're gonna play for the people. I didn't get to do it in the Fun and Fact show because we covered that god awful interview, whatever you want to call it, for JD Vance and his pathetic attempts to cement himself as some reasonable human being. But I have a couple more. Here. So Donald Trump endorsed Mike Collins for the Georgia Senate race. He'll be running against John Ossoff, and he recently just won his primary runoff. What I find hysterical about said win is that he went against... hold on, am I mixing up people? Burt Jones. No, I'm mixing up two things. So he's running against John Ossoff in the Senate in Georgia. And this is who endorsed him, okay? This is who endorsed him. I want to play this clip for y'all and show you guys what this fucker is about, okay? While we wait on the Trump supporters to grow the testicular fortitude to request up. So what you see before you here is, well, YouTube can't see it. This is Mike Collins with like some form of some AR, it looks like. And there's a trash can with paper stick to it that says ballot boxes. Okay. And this was his little ad.
You count the legal. First of all, you count the legal votes that were cast in the state of Georgia. Donald Trump won this state. Period. Number two.
This was in 2020. Ballots. He fucking didn't.
Number two. Get rid of those voting machines. Go back to paper ballots once and for all. Number three, get rid of those ridiculous drop boxes across this state that the Democrats use to stuff the ballots and steal our elections. Number four, let's go to national forensic audits in every election cycle across this country. As a matter of fact, it's one of the first bills I'll introduce when I get to Washington. You see, Georgians are sick and tired of weak-kneed, spineless politicians who won't fight for Trump, get to the bottom of 2020, and fix our elections. Well, if they won't do it, Mike Collins will.
Thank God for the follows. That
I'll
song had
fix
nothing to
this
do with the
election.
video.
I'll get to the bottom of 2020, and I will fight for Trump's America First agenda.
So
he also spelled Georgia wrong on upon his campaign launch.
Of
Y'all.
course he did. Of course he did.
Like Byron Donald spelled accountability wrong in Florida.
I just think it's hilarious that he's running for Georgia Senate and in his own state, and he can't even spell his own state correctly in his campaign launch.
We just played a video earlier of Byron Donalds campaigning with a sign that said achievability, and they spelled it wrong. So that was hilarious.
Oh, it's achieve. Yeah, this is just ridiculous.
Fucking
talking
crazy.
about education.
I don't know. I don't know why. Seriously, imagine how fucking stupid you have to be to actually believe that when you see a ballot box, you can just go throw a piece of tissue in there that says, you know, Joe Biden, and we're going to count that as a vote. That's what these people literally believe. They believe once it goes in that box, there is no additional vetting whatsoever. Like, ugh.
But I have a question though about that though, because and I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I've been told as a Californian, I'm told all the time that somebody said Brazil, but it's India count their votes 600 whatever, however many 600 million or whatever in one day, and they use voting machines. Now it wasn't one day, but they do use, I believe, over 90% of their votes are cast by voting machines.
Mm.
So he wants to get rid of the voting machines that on average takes a day to count for mail-in ballots or paper ballots.
Crap.
Than you
Damn
think.
it. Fuck. Every single time I got a misinformation thing. We cannot talk about elections on this goddamn app. And I'm talking about, I've seen this in MAGA Lives. I've seen it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you say. You just can't fucking talk about elections. Need you guys to power tap the screen. Let's push through this little flag here. Knock out the gifts if you can. I want to get the likes up to over 300K and beyond the next couple of minutes. Yeah, they're extra. They're extra about the festivals. Excuse me. I should have said festivals.
So
Wait.
on
Okay. Hold on. I have to restart. They just gave me another one. I have to restart. Come back. Come right back, y'all.
Georgia. When I come back.
Come back. Come back. Bruh. I fucking hate this app. I fucking hate TikTok so much. You cannot talk about the election. You can't talk about any election. You can't talk. Mind you, we're only talking about the shit that they say. We're talking about the misinformation that Trump supporters spread, and they flag me for it. I know mutuals that will play videos of Donald Trump talking about the 2020 festival, and they flag me. It's insane. It's absolutely insane how they treat this app, bro. Welcome back in, TikTok. Welcome back in. Those of you on the YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells. If you guys want to support the platform, you may do super chat, super sticker, or become a member. Yeah, I literally just have to do a full restart on TikTok. We had 600 people in here. Had to do a full restart because of that stupid flag. Bat shit, bro. Bat shit. Now that you guys are back, double tap that screen. Double tap the screen. Let's get the hearts up. Let's get the hearts up and see what chats we can get up in here tonight. Goodness. Yeah, literally, Natalie. It's absolute BS. It's absolute BS. Speaking of, W's in the chat to Nat for the $5 Venmo. That Emma Grateful guest voice is giving Gunther in the movie Sing. They sound exactly the same. You know I'm right. I've actually never seen that movie. Hold on. Gunther and Sing. We're going to look it up. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. If you are a Trump supporter, request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Hold on. I'm looking up a video on Gunther.
He's not shy. Icy, no? He wears a little red. Your body part.
Okay, yeah, I hear it. I hear it. Yep, that last guy did sound like him. 6,000%. 6,000%. Welcome back in, y'all. Welcome back in. You know it's bad when TikTok's like, yo, this man Trump is crazy. Anybody who talks like him, flag him immediately. Anybody who talks like Trump about the 2020 festival, flag him. Just flag him. Don't ask why. Don't worry about the context. Just flag him. It's insane. It is insane. Let me let Ashley back up here. Welcome back, Ash.
Hey, thanks for having me up. So I was just going to give you some little info on Georgia. I'll be really careful and coded. So there is a law in place to remove QR codes because we have QR codes on our tickets. And they want to return to the paper thingies. And they're trying to get that to do. It is an absolute nightmare because they're wanting to go backwards. But that's a big thing. But you were about to talk about Rick Jackson and Burt Jones. So Burt was the one that was officially endorsed by Kemp and by Trump, but Jackson won. And it's kind of getting mixed feelings about it because Jackson's also a billionaire outsider, kind of positioning himself like Trump.
Right?
Yes, in the governor race. Yes. So we're not really sure. And Keisha Lance Bottoms is going to be on the ticket.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened to your sound. The crazy thing about
campaign.
Rick
so it's going to be very interesting to see how things.
He did not show up to the debates. Rick Jackson did not show up. I watched it. Burt Jones stood up there on the stage. Rick Jackson didn't even bother to show up. But he's the billionaire that got that won anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. And he didn't even get the Trump endorsement.
He's basically running his campaign. And he's running his campaign very similar to Trump. So I don't know that it's a win that Trump endorsed guy didn't win as far as the primary goes, but we still got till November. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting race. In other news, we have several blue races up in Northwest Georgia, very MAGA country, that are gaining a ton of momentum. I'm helping out with a couple of local campaigns for the state Senate and House races, and because of the PFAS, which are the forever chemicals that have been poured into our waterways and things like that, we may actually get some more blue races. We actually had a shit ton of voters come out, so it'll be interesting. I just wanted to give you that little look into all of the stuff that's going on because it's very interesting. They wanted the QR codes removed from the ballot, the tickets, and that didn't happen because there's some conspiracy about it, but it's just a bunch of bull crap. But anyway, we started talking about the Georgia races, and of course, I'm very heavily involved with my state, so
absolutely,
we'll see what happens. I just wanted to share.
I think maybe you have a good chance of it flipping in both seats.
Yeah,
that would be something. I think a lot of Georgians, specifically the Black Georgians, in regards to what's taking place with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, I think they're coming out. I think they're definitely coming out. So you have a strong base there already.
And here is some really good news. Georgia was up to be, and then I'm going to go after this to get back down in the comments. But Georgia was up to be redistricted again. Kemp would not do it for this election cycle because we were already in the midst of the primary. And Georgia is a Republican majority state. And it was defeated today. The Republicans came out against it as well. They were against the redistricting. They know it looks really bad on them. And with the momentum that's happening in Georgia, they knew it would be even worse if they redistricted. So it was defeated for now. It can be brought back up into the regular session in 2027. So depending on who is governor in 2027 can really affect that. So y'all, if you are able, not only do we need to be pushing the narratives and information so that people have the correct information, but if you guys can donate to the candidates in Georgia, the blue candidates across the board, we need all the help. If you can't donate your money, but you have time available, look and get into some campaigns and see if you can do phone campaigning. You can go to the Blue Act Blue websites and find out some different campaigns that you can volunteer on. You do not have to be in the state or in the district to help volunteer for campaigns. And we are going to need as much help as possible. Georgia is slowly turning bluer and bluer and getting back. And we need all the momentum we can get now. I think it's going to help the entire country if we see Georgia move. So just wanted to say that. Appreciate you letting me come up.
Thank you for coming up, and I hope you and the babies are doing well.
Doing well. Thank you.
Thank you. We love Ash. That's one of my day one mods. That's one of my OG WWs, bro. Mike Ash does the same thing every single live. Why do blue states have higher unemployment rates? Sure. I'll answer that question for you once you come up in the box. You do the same thing every single time. I don't know why blue states would have higher unemployment rates. Do you? Can someone tell me why blue states would have higher unemployment rates? I can't possibly think of a reason as to why the states concentrated with people would have higher unemployment rates. Can't think of one. Can't think of one reason. Nope. I can't possibly think of why blue states have more crime than other states. And really and truly, per capita, different. The rate specifically, the crime rate, very different. But we're just talking about the overall number. I can't think of why a 15 million population in a state would have more crime than a state with 200 people. Yeah, I can't think of a single reason, bro. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets the vote, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and express all the reasons that cause you to get up off the MAGA plantation. I quietly, frankly, for one, can list a few. I think a growing number of the Trump supporting base is sick and tired of the games. I think they're tired of the lies that we've been told on Iran with no seeming end in sight. And we did all of this, mind you, just to get us right back to where we were before Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA in 2018. I think going backwards and then bringing us back to the same thing you criticize is one hell of a reason to regret your vote for Donald Trump. And more of them are showing their lack of support for the Iran war. I think inflation outpacing wage growth is a substantial reason, because you can't talk about or compliment your wages going up, but then because of inflation, it's not matching. Real wages are not going up. But because of inflation, you're getting less bang for your buck. I don't know why anyone would compliment that. Hey, every single year since I turned 18 years old, I've made more money than the previous year, and it seems not to take me any further. It's almost as if every single time you move up, something changes the rules, right? It's almost as if the Trump administration embracing racism this weekend at the UFC event, when they had that individual say Michelle Obama is a man, which these are talking points alongside the birther movement that was spearheaded by the Trump administration and his allies. It's almost as if more and more people, despite fighting their own unrecognized racism, even thought that comment was a little bit distasteful. And some of y'all are married to butches anyway. And it's almost as if the Trump administration bragging about polling high in Israel and Donald Trump suggesting that he would run in Israel as a prime minister when he's done with the presidency here isn't very suspicious of the same Zionism that you guys say is destroying our country with AIPAC and the like. Maybe all of those reasons and more is the reasons why you are tired of Trump, in which case you may come up here and tell me why. If you are a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, nothing bothers you, including JD Vance getting up on The View and getting cooked by a bunch of women. I know you guys hate smart, educated women. If that isn't a reason, then you may request up in the box as well. I can give you several reasons as to why you should. I did have another clip here I wanted to play for y'all. Let me see if I can pull that up on here, if I can find it. Oh, yes. This is Hegseth's explanation as to why he thinks the MOU, which again we call the JCPOA, the Great Value JCPOA, is going to be more successful than Obama's plan. This is Pete Hegseth, and this is what he had to say on the topic.
Says Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, won't seek one, won't buy one, won't have one.
JCPOA said that
days,
too.
There'll be negotiations to make that final. But they didn't have the threat of military force the way that we do, that Iran respects in a very way that their regime is more devastated than it's ever been in its 47 years.
Okay.
And that's why they're at the table. So the huge difference is we did this from a position of strength. President Trump led with military might. That military might will stay as long as necessary. You know, if the blockade comes off, then you pull back and you allow shipping to flow, just like Iran needs to allow shipping to go through the straits. But we can snap that blockade back at any point, and they can't do anything about it. And Iran knows that, and that's why we have the leverage in these talks, and we hope they'll go well. We really do. The document says.
Friendly reminder that the JCPOA had the exact same provisions. Iran commits to not enriching their uranium over 3.67%. They commit to not seeking a nuclear weapon to utilize against any country, much less the United States and Israel. They committed to inspections, independent inspections by the likes of the IAEI, frequently in some cases at random, to ensure their facilities did not have the enriched uranium above the level that they would have agreed to. And then we also had several other countries in this deal. It was a unifying deal that would have allowed us to intervene and take action against them if they were to violate it. Everything Pete Hegseth just said is the exact same thing that the JCPOA had. Bruh, not this shit again. Literally played the fucking the Twitter video, and I just got a flag for unoriginal content. I hate this app. Anyways, literally the same thing that the JCPOA had. JCPOA is, the only difference is the Trump administration had to bomb them for months to bring them to the table that they were at the entire time. Imagine that. Imagine you were negotiating with them on behalf of this deal, and you decided just to bomb the hell out of them, out of the blue, out of nowhere, and completely ignore everything that took place prior. I don't think that's a flex. Actually, they could veto and block any random inspection imposed. Sure, you can prove that shit. You can come up here and prove that shit. Doesn't Hegseth have a swastika tattoo? So I believe some of his tattoos were associated with it, or some people associated with it. From my research, Hegseth's tattoos are indicative of like the Crusades. So it's more so aligned with radical Christian nationalism, nuts, not so much Nazis. From everything I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong. But everything that I looked up, it's more so associated with like the worst of the worst Christians versus being a Nazi tattoo. Yeah, one of them is a German iron cross. I forgot what the other ones are. And to be honest and fair, Iran emerged victorious. I mean, depends on your definition of victorious, but sure, I would say if I was going to get a U.S. sanctioned $300 billion investment fund. Thank you, Erica, for the Bloom Blast. I appreciate you. If I was going to get $300 billion of investments, which is literally more than anything that I would have gotten or had unfrozen under the JCPOA, I would say cool. If I was able to completely turn the American people against the guy who started bombing the fuck out of us and cause all of that infighting in your country, I would say that's a win. Sure, by all means. By all means. I mean, unfortunately, 100 and something Iranian schoolgirls are dead because of it. And we just only, if anything, piss them off even more and solidify that any ability to actually heal the tensions between us and Iran, it's gone under this administration and probably in the future. There's that. No, the $300 billion is an investment fund. We're on top of that, we're unfreezing their assets, no different from what Obama did. But no, the $300 billion is just what he said they're going to invest.
Call from John.
John, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I do.
Why is that?
I think that he's been a big letdown on deportation.
How so?
Well, I think he promised mass deportations, and we just haven't seen it.
Oh, what does mass deportation look like to you?
Larger than the amount, not only the amount purported, but also the amount that is probably in actuality. Anywhere between 15 to 30 million, depending on the number.
You regret your vote for Donald Trump because his actions on this quote unquote mass deportation plan were so grossly problematic that even Republicans were calling for some level of reform.
You added that last part on. I didn't say that, but there's probably truth in it.
No, it's what's happening. I didn't add on to what you said. I responded to what's happening.
Well, no, you not to be pedantic, you did say I said that.
I said you support Donald Trump because, and I spoke on what's happening.
No,
Donald Trump's mass
I don't
deportation
support
agenda has been significantly excuse me, correction. You regret your
Thank you.
vote because of the grossness of his mass deportation.
No. Well, is the grossness being that he hasn't conducted it appropriately? He hasn't done mass deportation?
Yeah, so you want everything I just said amplified times 10. You want it ramped up.
I think it's got to be higher than 10. It's got to be like, well, look, the problem is the DHS numbers. They say there's been a purported, 2 million self-deportations?
1.6.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Neither do
I think there's, I don't think that's that. Do you think that's accurate?
No. They've provided no reports
Yeah.
of this. We don't have any type of audit that shows that we would have paid 1.6 million migrants $1,000 each. There's no number for that. There's no record whatsoever.
I think you're right. I think that the way that they came to that conclusion was through a lot of circumstantial conclusive, they're basing it off of polling and basing it off of like house polling and individual report. And I don't think it's accurate. And I think they do have the numbers. I think they just don't want to release them because they know it'll be so poor in relation to what they promised.
How would mass deportation positively impact you?
Well, I mean, there's quite a few ways. I think it's culturally and economically as popular.
How does mass deportation positively impact us culturally?
Well, I think there's an American culture, and I think when you have a mass migration into a country, it can water down the culture.
What is American culture?
Well, historically, it's Western European, Christian. Yeah, it's an amalgamation depending
American
upon the region
culture
that you're
isn't
in.
Christian.
Sorry, say that again.
American culture isn't Christian, not in a country that literally has a constitution that protects everyone's freedom of religion and clauses that separate church from the state. So that culture is irrelevant because it doesn't align with the Constitution and its invitation of many different backgrounds because of what they would contribute to the United States, not just your faith.
Well, you'd agree with me that this concept of separation of church and state is on the federal level, right?
Sure, that's the only thing we can legislate.
Well, so the reason I bring that up is because the First Amendment and the Establishment Clause within the First Amendment. The reason that the federal government, as far as I can ascertain from the founders and the Anti-Federalist Papers, the reason that they had that clause in there was because we were a Protestant nation with so many distinct versions of Protestantism that to have one Christian denomination governing all of the other religions would kind of, it would defeat the very purpose of having multi-Protestant positions by the state.
Can you name which one of the founding fathers were Protestant?
Yeah.
If
George
anything,
Washington,
they would be more
John
so
Jay.
deist. Deist is separate from Protestant.
Say that again.
Deist is not necessarily Protestant.
The majority of the framers were Anglican, dude.
Not necessarily. Do you know what a deist is?
Like no, they were. Like, I'm not saying that. I know that for a fact. If you want a source, I don't know if I can provide it to you, but I
Sure.
could.
Do you know what a deist is?
Yeah. Do you know what an Anglican is?
Yeah, somewhat. Not a deist. Deists didn't necessarily align themselves with Protestantism. Even if they did, it doesn't change the fact that that clause that you're talking about would benefit individuals who would not align with any way, shape, or form the Abrahamic God.
Okay, just really quick, just to get the record straight. When I say that the majority of the framers were Anglican, I'm saying 60+% of the framers were Anglican. The majority weren't deists. And to the degree that the people that claimed they were deists, that was on an individual level. As far as what they actually promulgated to society, they had to take oaths of affirmation to become public officials in the states they represented towards the religion.
What is your point?
To be the governor of Maryland, you had to swear an oath of affirmation to like Catholicism.
Okay. It's not how it is now. So why do I care?
Well, because you were talking about American culture. And I'm saying that really didn't change until the 60s.
Doesn't matter when it changed.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. That culture that you're referencing would be non-existent. Nor is it relevant.
Okay, so you're saying that cultural changes the second that legislation passes?
No, it changed with people, not so much legislation, especially when that legislation was built off of exclusion of individuals,
we agree it does matter
off of
then,
discriminatory values.
Okay, so you agree it does matter when those values change?
Depends on the change.
The change we're talking about is separation of church and state as you perceive it.
Again, that's always been a thing, just not so much enforced.
No,
Not always,
no,
excuse
no,
me.
I'm-
When it
I'm-
came,
I'm
inevitably
saying
wasn't
it-
always enforced. Same way it's
At-
not
at the-
necessarily being enforced now with the light
At
discrimination
the federal
of this
level, it's always
administration.
been a thing, but at the state level, that wasn't codified until the Supreme Court heard cases in the late
Good. So on the federal level, they decided to make it consistent with the individual states and not having one state stop someone from being a governor because they weren't Catholic or whatever you said.
Well, okay, but I'm saying the reason that the Establishment Clause was there was still to allow states to create state religions.
God bless you.
Okay. Well, it's not a thing now.
Like-
So why the fuck do I care?
Well, because we're talking about American culture, and that still persists. That still has lingering effects.
Okay. The lingering effects is irrelevant to me. Separation of church and state is a benefit to all individuals who reside in the United States, because if there wasn't said separation, there would be an improper enforcement of laws against one group or another, which is not positive.
You're saying separation of church and state ties into the 14th Amendment?
What?
Well, you're saying proper enforcement of laws against one group over another. Are you talking about the Due Process Clause? of the
Talking
14th
about
Amendment?
if individuals could weaponize their religion on a state or federal level against another demographic who didn't use it, that would be problematic.
Okay, I'm saying that was made illegal under the 14th Amendment, and that was in the 1860s, 1865, right? So between 1865 and the 1960s, there were state religions, and there was still the Due Process Clause. So how do you
When you
how do
say
put those two
state
together?
religions, are you referencing a upheld religion in a particular state?
No, when I say state religion, I mean post the signing of the Constitution, there were states that had an established state religion. Like Maryland was its state established religion was Catholicism. I believe in many of the states it was Episcopalianism. I think Quakers were Pennsylvania. I could be off school on that, but I think that's right.
Do you want there to be a state religion?
I don't know why that's relevant.
What do you mean why it's relevant? I mean, I'm asking you to
Well,
give
we're not
me
talking
the
about what I
importance,
want, right?
the
We're
positive
talking about a
significance
matter
of
of
there being a
historical
state
record.
religion. You said we're supposed to be preserving a culture. Preserving said
Yes.
culture would be having less restrictions on, I guess, the outlawing or of the merging of church and state. That would help maintain this culture that you're referencing.
No, what I'm saying is that when we're looking at American culture and how it was originally created in this country, I'm saying separation of church and state was federal. That wasn't state.
Doesn't matter.
You made a point that separation of church and state applied to all people, and I'm just saying, no, that's not true.
Yeah, it does. Literally does. It applies to the state level and the federal level. The federal level is over the state. There is no merging. It's a good thing. It shouldn't change.
But it did change. For the majority of American
It shouldn't
history,
change
it
from what
wasn't
it
how you
is
think
now. I'm aware of the change that happened prior That was a good change. Do you dispute that?
I do think it was a bad change.
Why?
Well, because I think it's important for specific Christian subsects of Protestantism to be able to flourish in different places.
Why
Like,
should
what's wrong
a
with
certain
having a Christian
religion
culture?
be given any prioritization over another? When religion is ultimately a personal thing, a relationship between you and your God, why should the government be allowed to enforce or show any special treatment towards any religion?
Because there's certain collections of people that have preferences towards certain ways of life, and that takes effect in religion. Like, this is like, are you against the Vatican as a concept? Is Catholicism as a concept?
I don't give a shit about people's religion as long as it stays in their household and their institutions.
Okay, well, the world cares, I guess, man. And I guess that's where we disagree. I
You
do give a shit
care.
and you don't.
You care.
Yeah.
You and several hundred
Yes.
thousand, maybe millions of Trump supporters care because you can't stand
Right.
walking around and seeing anything that differs from you. The rest of us understand the significance of your right to worship who you want to, and you can keep it personal. You're the one who wants to push forward your faith and your religion onto other individuals, which is complete opposite of what America should be doing.
You think the complete opposite of what individuals in America should be doing is proselytizing. You're against proselytizing.
I'm sorry, I actually don't know what that word means. Elaborate. Proselytizing?
Yeah, to proselytize.
Elaborate.
You want me to explain proselytize to you?
Tell me the definition of the word that you just used.
It's when you try to persuade someone to become your religion. It's like when Mormons go and knock on your door, they're proselytizing.
Oh, like fucking like ministry. What's the word I'm looking for? Minister. Okay.
The word you're looking for, is proselytize.
Evangelize. Thank you. Yeah, evangelize. No, I didn't say no one has the right to not evangelize because I would have the right to slam the door in your face when you show up there.
Okay, so you seem to be at tension right now. So everyone has the right to do what they want to do, right? You have the right to slam the door, and I have the right to try and proselytize.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to vote my way, and you can vote your way.
Yeah. That's how things work.
It sounds like we're in agreement. You just don't like that people proselytize.
No, I don't give a shit if you proselytize.
Okay, then that's why I guess we're in agreement. I guess that's why I'm
You
in
going
favor.
door to door or holding your churches or talking to people about Jesus or whatever the hell else you believe doesn't negatively impact my life because the government isn't backing you. The government isn't playing a role in applying pressure or force onto individuals.
Okay, really quick. Can you provide me an example pre-1960s when the government enforced a state religion on its people?
You said the state would have respected prior to the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, the ability for a state to have or respect one religion, correct?
Correct.
So that would be their flags, taxpayer money would have then went into these institutions. So if I'm a non-religious person, a portion of my taxes then went into supporting the institutions that I don't believe, when ultimately none of them impact my life. If I don't believe it, that's what I'm talking
really
about.
quick, 'cause you're telling. I'm confused. You're saying that pre the 1960s, when they took the First Amendment and applied it to the 14th Amendment to states' rights, you're saying that state religions would take taxpayer money and put it towards the official religion of that state.
Yeah, your money would then go towards the state-sanctioned
Can you name
religions
what
of the
state
state.
did that? I've never heard that. I'm pretty well read on this, but I could always learn.
Sure, no problem.
What state did that?
Let's see.
Are you Googling it right now?
Yes, I am.
So you don't. Okay.
Well,
Cool.
I
Go ahead
did.
and
I
Google.
I just need to give you a state. That's literally it.
I know. I was hoping you knew. You were making this assertion. I didn't realize you needed to look up the assertion.
Because that's
Anyways,
because
go ahead.
because
Go
that's how
ahead,
that
back up your
because that's how
claim.
that I'm looking up. That's how that works. The government was involved. The government still took taxes. That revenue would have then went into the institution. There was no what you call it 501c where the state would have acknowledged the religion and then still separated your funding. But sure, it's that
A 501?
taxes.
Why did you say
funded.
501c3?
Oh, excuse me. I'm mixing up things because that would have been the exemption. Let's see.
But the 501 is an IRS thing. The IRS didn't come around until I think the 1800s.
I'm aware of that, my guy.
I don't think you are.
But taxes still came.
I'm gonna go talk
then.
to someone who knows what's what.
Sure,
I'll
buddy.
talk to you later, man.
I know. States of France become taxes funded with religions. France before First Amendment. Let's see. For the American Revolution, most of the original colonies used tax dollars to support religious activity. Instead, several colonies chose a single church as their officially established religion. These churches enjoyed many privileges not extended to other religious groups. Let me get those states specifically. Other colonies supported religion more generally by requiring citizens to pay taxes that would be used partially to fund religious institutions. These colonies allowed individual taxpayers to direct their payments to the Protestant denomination of their choice. Only Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island did not compel any taxpayer support for religion. Yeah, this was way back. This was way back. There you have it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you in the request, Ash. Debbie's in the chat to Melanie for the $5 Venmo. Can caller sack the fuck up and admit he's a Christian nationalist? Oh, we know exactly what he was. We know exactly what he was. I'm aware of the fact that colonies were in states, but they would still be established in regions. For example, the ones that were exempt, these four here, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. Hi, Ash.
Hey, so I know he was on YouTube and I couldn't have spoken with him anyway, but the one thing I was going to ask him, because he kept talking about culture is into the state religion, but not everybody in those states necessarily practice that religion. But he was trying to basically say that that had to do with culture. And so I was going to ask you to ask him if he believed that somehow the state organized religion, or the state legalized religion in that state, or the state recognized religion, quote unquote American culture, because that would be kind of irrelevant. A state religion would be irrelevant. Just because it was the one that they promoted the most doesn't mean that that had anything to do with the overall culture of individual areas and that sort of thing. And his idea of culture was way off. I was just curious, but too bad that he left.
That is correct. To the guy who left because I didn't know what I was talking about, which means I had to verify the shit that I was saying. Maryland, New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. These are the states that started to adopt those provisions to stop that establishment of religion on the state level, specifically between 1776 and 1790. So I'm sorry that you didn't know
I don't
that.
know who needs to. I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because you say, okay, I know a fact, but I don't know all the specifics, I'm going to have to look that up. That doesn't mean that you don't know the fact in the first place. You're just making sure that what you say after you say, hey, this happened, let me make sure everything I say afterwards is factually accurate. That doesn't mean you don't know the fact in the first place. It just irritates me.
I don't think he realized he supported my argument. He literally said during this time, the states respected their state established religions. That's what he literally said. And with the implementation of the state, that means your funding would have went towards upholding one religion over another in some way. It was partial, of course, but that's literally what he would have admitted in his own words. So congratulations if you're still listening, to which you're probably not. Call him back. Should I call him back? Should I call him back? Should I call him back? I'll let y'all decide. Should I call him back? He read the room and dipped. I just find it crazy that you literally left before you were proven wrong. Thank you, Gerber Grow, for the level up sparks. All right, they said call him. I'm going to call him back. I'm leaving a voicemail.
The subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey guy, this is Hector Talks with 2 R's. So you're the guy who just hung up because you said you're gonna go call someone who knows what they're talking about. So I just wanted to advise you that those states that you were referencing that apparently didn't put taxpayer dollars towards religious institutions would have been the ones that I would mention that I just mentioned between 1776 and 1790. You know, that time period where the initial 13 states were established, and then initially after 1790s specifically. That's when you saw a lot more debates and criticisms of that funding going towards those institutions. Yeah. So just wanted to call you back and remind you of that since you didn't know what you were talking about there. Anyway, bye. Trump supporters request up in the box too, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Thank you, Chorus Jonah, for the level up sparks. I appreciate you. Bye. Hit the BAI. Bye.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't claim to fucking know everything. But I know what I know. And I know that if a state upheld a religion, state funding went towards said religion. Unless you're saying there was no taxation in said time period, which we know is to be wrong. And then you didn't even know what the states were. Is he calling back?
Even if
Sorry.
even if they would still be getting endorsement from us.
Yeah, I'm him again. Answer the call.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Caller on the line, did you vote for Trump?
No.
Can I help you?
Yeah. Is that the only question you got for me?
No.
And then?
Why would I have a question for you?
Well, that was it. Did you vote for Trump? I answered it. No. What else? What other question you got for me?
Were you dropped on the head as a baby?
I don't know. Maybe. But why? Who's asking?
I think your time would be better spent calling your mother and asking her versus bothering me. I don't know what about this live tells y'all that you can just call in to shoot shit. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, call in the number on screen or request up in the box. If you are a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, call in the number on screen or request up in the box because I can give you several reasons as to why you should. Sometimes I'll make exceptions for non-voters because it's important to get y'all the vote. For the most of you, you're in a cult and you just refuse to vote no matter how much it matters. Yeah, this live isn't the demographic for you to just josh around. W's to the Jess Raid, left Jess Raid, W's to the left Jess Raiders. I don't know how much longer we really have though, but let's at least get the likes up to 100K. Show the algorithm you want to be here. Show the algorithm that you want to be here.
Hector, you can drop me again. Thanks for having me up.
I got you. Appreciate you. Honestly, I should have asked him that. I just saw it. Can you ask him if he considers a statewide religion culture, even though not every single person in the state would follow? See, the thing about that is, didn't he say at the beginning of the conversation, what did he say in the beginning of the conversation? That the federal government and the laws is separate from culture. Yeah, he asked me that question to show that there is a difference. But then he talked about a time where the state would have respected these religions, which contributed to the culture. And the changing of said laws in those clauses would have then also led to the culture changing to where we don't have states or the federal government respecting any one religion. I don't know. I was just confused as to what he wanted. I knew he was a Christian nationalist, but it was just I didn't understand his argument. I didn't know what the fuck his point was. And clearly you didn't know how things worked before this time period. He was trying to backdoor. Yeah, he literally was. He literally was. Oh, well. And you thought Hector was petty? Hold on. What did Nat say? What did Nat say? Who's this? Oh, they hung up immediately. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. Guys, double tap the screen till the heart bar gets full. It shows the algorithm that you want to be here. If you have not hit that follow button in the top left corner, make sure that you're doing so. Also, let's see where we're at on the gift gallery. If you click on my name and you scroll down, you'll see C1 gift gallery. Ooh, we have 4 more gifts. We have 4 more gifts in the gift gallery. We have the DJ glasses, the fireworks, a whale diving, and a meteor shower. Since it's C League, we can actually clear that this week. If you would like to support the platform that way, Jess, and bam, that leaves us with 3 more. That leaves it with 3 more. 3 more gifts in the gift gallery.
God bless you.
Never mind. That leaves us with 2 more W's. W's to Left Jess for knocking out 2 of the gifts in the gift gallery. Well, motherfuck me. That's 1 more. That is 1 more. Guys, I'm going to need to see at least 100. There's 338 of you in here. I'm going to need to see at least 100 W's in the chat for Left Jess. There is only 1 gift now left in the gift gallery. And quite frankly, it's not Left Jess's job to clear it the fuck out. Let's knock out the whale diving. That'll be the final gift in the goal. I would love to clear the gift gallery this early in the week. Big W's to y'all. Big W's, y'all. Especially big W's to Jess. I appreciate your support. Don't tell me we scared all the Trump supporters off. Don't tell me we scared all the Trump supporters off. Bruh, y'all supposed to think like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to call in and cook him, right? He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to call him and cook him. I'm waiting. They hate theology talk. They love theology talk. Trump supporters love theology talk. They just can't keep up. They just can't keep up with it, but they love it. You'd be surprised to see the amount of Trump supporters you can talk to, and they'll say it with their full chest. Yes, I think we should be a Christian nation. I think that we shouldn't encourage anyone who isn't a Christian. I think to some degree we should give them different benefits or no benefits based off of your faith. W's to Kitty Cat for the whale diving. Shout out to you. It looks like we didn't beat them all, guys.
Call from.
Shout out to you, Kitty. Calling you on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Sure did.
Cool. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've been on this app for some time. It's been a long day. And I really want someone to like cook me. You know what I'm saying? Like my brain needs some stimulation. I need someone to come up and just demolish me on a topic. And I've been asking all day. And for some reason, everyone just runs or lies or slurs to get dropped. So I want to ask you this because it's up to you. Are you here to just engage in a conversation where you just talk about what you know and we can have a middle ground on factual empirical data? Or are you here to cook me? Which one?
Well, as long as you don't ask me about my stupid pronouns, we're good.
I feel like that wasn't an answer to my question.
Well, I did answer your question.
No. I asked you, what are you here for? There was 2 options. In both of those options, I can ask you about your pronouns.
I'm here. Yeah, okay, we can debate. But I do believe everything that you're saying is completely false and wrong about our president.
What have I said that's completely false and wrong about our president?
Bro. You guys even try to do it like on his birthday.
He's not here to cook me, bro. He's just here to yap.
5 people arrested. There's 25 or 28 people involved.
I don't know what that has to do with everything I've said being wrong and false about the president.
You guys are trying to kill what you hate for exposing the truth, the fraud.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
Can you tell me
like
what I said that's wrong about
$30,000
the
to illegal
president?
aliens. Bro, my sister is one of those people who collect. She's only getting like freaking $1,200, bro.
Uh-huh. Can you tell me what's wrong about what I said about the president?
What?
Can you tell me what I lied about the
everything.
president?
He's
Okay,
a fascist,
so if you say
Nazi.
everything, that
Somehow
means
he's
you
a
can
Jew,
name
but
at
he
least
killed the
one.
Jews. Like, I don't know, bro.
I never said anything about
Take
Donald
your
Trump
pick.
killing
What you guys
Jews.
always say. You
What
guys
I
all
did
you
say
extremists say
is
the
that the
same
president of the
stuff.
United States is a con man, a moron, a rapist, a homophobe, a xenophobe.
Oh yeah,
so
not
on
a
and so forth.
rapist. Yeah, nobody raped that ugly woman, bro. Nobody raped her.
Oh.
She come on. She literally won 7 cases.
Yeah,
on
you can sit here and
seven
call her
guys
ugly, you
that raped her.
disgusting sack of shit.
But I
But
don't
you
know,
know what's
like,
super crazy
Donald
about
Trump,
what you
I don't
just said?
think so.
Donald
Maybe the
Trump
other
mixed
guy,
up E.
maybe,
Jean
because
Carroll
they
with
did
his
do that to
ex-wife. So
Madonna.
clearly Donald Trump found her to be attractive.
I doubt it. Like you see
Oh,
his
so
wife
you think
lately?
he
She's
married an
gorgeous.
ugly person? Do you think Donald Trump intentionally married an ugly person? Or did he find her attractive?
Okay. You seriously think with all the Democrat states with all the whorehouses and
I actually don't care to talk about someone who opens up like that. You can criticize the case, but you want to talk about he didn't cheat with that ugly whore. Wow. Okay. You're just gross. You guys come up here in 0.2 seconds and prove why you vote for Trump. And I have a line. You crossed it. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. To Miss May Woman for the $10 Cash App because reparations. Thank you for my reparations. What reparations are we doing tonight, y'all? What reparations are we doing tonight? Because we've been dealing with some shit. What reparations are we doing tonight? I'm going to let y'all decide. Is it going to be the White Guilt Fund reparations? The White Guilt Fund is dry. The White Guilt Fund is dry. Is it going to be the White Guilt Fund reparations? Is it going to be the ashwagandha reparations? Is it going to be the boba reparations? Which one are we doing tonight, y'all? I'll let y'all decide. I'll let y'all decide. Goodness gracious. Everything you say about Trump is a lie. He's a grapist? Oh, why would he grape that ugly woman? You tell me. You tell me, bro. Also, that's actually, that's gross on so many levels. Your attraction levels, which is subjective as fuck, doesn't stop men from assaulting you. Men don't give a fuck if you're attractive or not when they want what they want. I am so sorry that you guys believe that it's only pretty people in danger, which is fucking batshit. Every single woman on average around a man, look at the conviction rate, if you look throughout history, has to be cautious because they take what they want, and it's not about your looks. It's about the feeling of power, overpowering someone. It's about feeling bigger than they actually are. It's about the cruelty. Your attraction has fuck all to do with it. That's why this whole bullshit goddamn narrative about what the fuck you wear means nothing. As if nuns clothed from head to goddamn toe, head to fucking toe, aren't being taken and assaulted. Didn't make a fucking difference. They don't even need to see fucking skin. What are we talking about? You guys are fucking sick. Or are you implying that your prerequisite for raping someone is if they look good to you? That sounds more likely, actually. Fucking gross. Fucking disgusting. Ask why funeral homes prefer to hire women instead of men. I didn't know that was a thing. I actually didn't know that was a thing. Is that a thing? Hold on. Also, links in the bio are going to be the best ways to support the platform. Make sure you're following me on all social medias, such as YouTube, that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram, where I post the videos I put up here. Join the Discord community. We are over 700 members strong. It is free. You may choose to subscribe. Join the community. Get yourself some merch off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's. We can get your lines, such as from the New Testament Democrat. I know you guys think that Democrat is a bad word. It isn't.
God
fucking
bless
bad
you.
word. Thank you, Sharon, for the gifts. Or donating directly in the links to the bio. If you'd like to donate to the, I didn't decide on what fund it is tonight. Hold on, let me read through the comments. Shauna said Boba Fund. Natalie said, why he take guilt reparations. It just said all of them. If you'd like to donate to the All of Them Fund, you may do so with the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker or become a member and donate to the All of Them Fund. Discord link is in the... Gerber Girl. So as I was saying, the link is in my bio. So if you're on TikTok, you go to my bio, my profile. The link is in the description of my bio on TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description of this live stream. And then there's a Discord icon that you click on, and then you go through that invite. Okay, hold on. Let me look this up because I actually did not know this. Wait, hold on. I didn't do funeral. Funeral homes are morgues. Funeral homes are morgues. I feel like you meant to say morgues. Women over men. Funeral and death care industry is rapidly shifting towards women in client-facing and mortuary roles. While there's no official industry-wide mandate, many funeral homes actively recruit women due to changing public demand and the highly relational nature of the business. Interesting. This makes sense. This actually makes sense. It aligns with women's makeup. Families seeking funeral arrangements often prefer working with female directors. Women are frequently perceived to be strong communicators who excel in counseling, event planning, and navigating grief. That makes a fuck ton of sense. Public perception and trust. Discussions in death care communities on platforms like Reddit. Why the fuck are you citing Reddit? Note that female staff are often favored by families and employers because they are perceived as trustworthy and less prone to workplace misconduct regarding the deceased. Yeah. It's kind of like nursing. Right? The field is made up of mostly women because of that perception, because of the care, because of the providing, so on and so forth. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. I got it now. I got you. Bodies are safer with women, 6,000%. Oh, I didn't doubt that part. I did not doubt that part in the slightest. Can't leave men around fucking nothing. Not a goddamn thing. W's in the chat to Criven for the $2 super chat for the Thunderdome Fund. I said all of the above, and I should have known that was coming. W's in the chat to Mouse for the $5 super chat. Can I combine Antifa Jews with reparations? You know what? For this one time, I will. That is going to be the Reparation Antifa Fund. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate you. W's in the chat to Melia for the $5 Venmo. White Karen Guilt Reparations. I appreciate your White Karen Guilt Reparations. W's to you. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate y'all. I'll articulate better next time. No, you're good. You're good. I was picking up what you were putting down. I guess I never thought about it before. It makes sense. I just never thought about it before. And y'all know me. I try not to... Even with things people say and they could be more knowledgeable than me, if I'm going to start saying it around, God bless you, I have to look it up because I've learned really, really fast on this app that sometimes people put anything down in the goddamn comments. So you can't just be picking up anything from the comments and citing it. And then if it's something that's a useful piece of information to my debates and I'm going to cite it on a daily basis, I have to fact check that shit. Erica, I'm gonna let y'all know. Erica can't stand it. Erica will say stuff sometimes, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking Erica. The majority of stuff she says is correct, but sometimes we're human, we all slip. So I'll look it up. She's like, I just told you that. I'm like, yeah, but I still have to look it up because if I'm going to keep saying it, I need to fucking know that it's true. I really do my best not to spread misinformation. That is the reason why we're in this fucking mess to begin with. Literally the reason why we're in this mess to begin with. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Layla. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate y'all. The whole reason we're in this mess, and I'll be damned, especially those of you who did not know this, last week on all platforms, we now have a combined 100,000 followers. 100,000 fucking people follow me and listen to some of the shit I have to say, whether in my live streams every day on both platforms here or my videos that are on everywhere. I'll be fucking damned. I'll be fucking damned if Fox News decides to get a clip of one of my lives one day where I say some grossly incorrect shit, I'll be fucking damned if Fox News has my black ass up on the national television looking like a fucking idiot. Ain't no goddamn way. Ain't no goddamn way, bro. I have an irrational fear of embarrassment, okay? I have an irrational fear of embarrassment. That shit will sit with me. I couldn't imagine. Fox News don't give a damn about me. Actually, no, I'm going to take that back. So, I'm sure you guys know Johnny Palmadessa. Johnny Palmadessa, those of you who didn't know, he was clipped by Fox News. Granted, he's a much bigger creator than me, but it was when he did the videos on the music festivals where they have to change the words from music festivals. They clipped one of his videos that he made and put it up because they said he was advocating for violence and they're using music festivals as like code word to link up and do shit. It was so stupid. Johnny did a fantastic video on it, how they literally tried to misalign his words. And I was like, you know, it's bad when they're just surfing like TikTok creators and trying to find shit to comment on. They won't talk about what the president is doing, but they're going to talk about that leftist creator and spin his words. It's insane. Yeah, that's correct, Palpable. Fox Entertainment. I need to get out the habit of saying Fox News. Fox Entertainment. 6,000%. 6,000%. W's in the chat to Godzilla for the $20 super chat. Hector the BS detector. Yep, that's me. Wanted to ask, have you looked into the Cason Allison case? Arguing with friends about it. I argue there's pre-med for Allison, whereas my friends say there is not, but doesn't echo that for K. Anthony. Oh, premeditation? Hold on. Let's do it now. I don't think we're going to get any other Trump supporters, so we're probably about to wrap up. But I'll do the final call while I'm looking into this case. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, we call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. So let's do Cason Allison. That's okay. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Cason Allison gets maximum sentence of 10 years for deadly stabbing at Belton High School. Wait. This is the white kid in Texas. Yes. Listen, hold up. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. I know what you're talking about now. I couldn't remember his name. I could not remember his name.
God bless you.
There's absolutely grounds for what you're saying. Hold on. Let me go over the case with everyone so that they know, just in case that you don't. Yeah, this was like a couple towns over. This fucking white kid got 10 years. Before you leave, I'm not leaving. What are you doing? Hold on a second. Let's go over this. Cason Allison was sentenced to 10 years in prison Tuesday for the deadly stabbing of Joe Ramirez, marking the conclusion of a high-profile case that has deeply impacted the Belton community. The Ramirez side of the courtroom erupted in applause once Judge Wade Faulkner read the sentencing. Emotional testimony and visible grief filled the courtroom. I don't care. Hold on. Allison was convicted of criminally negligent homicide by a jury in April following the death of fellow student Joe Ramirez at Belton High School. A judge later found that a deadly weapon was used or exhibited during the incident, which expanded the maximum sentence for Allison. He faced between 2 to 10 years in prison for Ramirez's date. 2 to 10 is crazy. That was the standard at the bottom of it. Hearing began, blah, 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 blah. Attorney submitted a probation report, requested judicial notes, pre-sentencing, investigation documents, requested the defense, court invoked the rule, which sworn in, 7 members. I'm trying to remember what the exact metrics were. Not metrics. The circumstances were for premeditation. Because I never looked into this deeply myself. I just remember seeing like a little video of it and an overview, and some of my mutuals know it a bit better than me. But give me a second. Let me find it. I'm trying to find the circumstances here. Nikita Roberts shows on. It was already crime beginner statement. Our lives will never be the same. Criticize outcome of trial. I don't think we're getting justice in this case while asking for a maximum sentence. Oh, so they didn't think the 10 years was enough. Well, the sister described learning of the stabbing all at work. Background. Okay. On the morning of May 3rd, 2022, a fight broke out between Allison and Ramirez in a bathroom at Belton High School. After the stabbing happened, Allison, who was 18 years old at the time, left the school, which led to the campus being placed on a precautionary lockdown. Allison was later arrested off campus while Ramirez was taken to the hospital where he would later die. During the trial, a witness testified about the tense relationship between Allison and Ramirez, even stating that Ramirez pulled a gun on Allison following a prom after party. Yikes. Ramirez's ex-girlfriend also stated that the fight was supposed to happen off campus and that Allison admitted to wanting Ramirez on life support. Fucking premeditated. This is literal grounds for premeditation. They had an ongoing beef. He fucking hated the guy, talked mess. Never led to a fight. But I'm trying to figure out how it broke out in the bathroom if they were supposed to do it somewhere else. So someone instigated it in the bathroom. Like they met up in the bathroom. Someone instigated something. And the fucker stabbed him. Huh. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. I'm sorry. I'm missing some of the comments. Y'all may be having more information on here. Is actively bought a poker for that reason? Okay. Okay. Yeah. The way I read it, Allison tracked Ramirez down in the bathroom. That's what. So okay. I'm gonna find a better article. I believe y'all, but I gotta look this up. Because my literal thing was, especially with the testimony that they're supposed to fight off campus. How in the fuck did y'all end up in the bathroom doing this shit? So it would make sense if he tracked him. But I don't see, that's how he got 10? That doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. I thought he went to the bathroom by mistake. See, there's all these different reports. Thank you, Goldmine, for the gift on YouTube. I'm looking. Let's see. Statements today's. Additional information recently about stabbing incident. Male student in custody. Oh, this was like the day of. This is. I'm trying to find the circumstances of the case. I got life without my son. Let's see what they say here. Don't forget, it's the DA who built the case and the judge issues final sentence. Yes. Yes. W's in the chat to Emerald for the $2 cash app. Ashwagandha reparation. It is from a purple hair. Shout out to the purple hairs. Shout out to the purple hairs. The purple and blue hairs. Thank you so much for your support. So she's your child, guilty on that, criminally negligent. Probation of 2 years in jail. Fucking crazy. Judge added a deadly weapon enhancement. Eyewitnesses include 3 Marines from New York State. Senior head, cross-examination. Next is stand. The case, defense objective claims matter was a case and experience relevant. Work continued. Defense cross-examination. Security enhancement. Catherine Johnson, former teacher. Nikki Roberts, Joe Ramirez's aunt. Let's see. Allison Antonio's verse. Known Roberts to be a bully. Riff Ramirez was known to be a bully. He said he wasn't. Let's see. It was revealed by family that they last knew of him being in prison, but don't keep in contact with him. So one of the criticisms of this case was that they heavily questioned and judged the family of Robert Ramirez, the guy who was stabbed by the white kid. And that may have played a role in them lessening his sentence. Because here, Joe Marrera's father, it was revealed by family that they last knew of him being in prison, but they don't keep in contact with him. The defense used this argument in conjunction with threats they say Allison has received about what will happen to him in prison. The defense is concerned a hit has been put out on Kaysen already. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's some fucking bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit. So now they're going to say he got threats that things were going to happen to him in prison. And because of those threats, we can't give him this sentence. And his dad's already, in jail. So you get the fuck out of here. That's some fucking bullshit. Next is Sam Ramirez's sister. Kenzo Gonzalez. Vincenzo's accusatory. Like the fight. She's responsive no. Where's Rom? 2. See help in the aftermath. Defense continues over down. Defense continued to double down that Ramirez was known to be a bully, and Rios explained that it isn't true. Where's the fucking evidence? She defended the accusations by explaining that Ramirez wasn't scared to fight, but he didn't want to fight, and he would never bring a weapon to one. Yeah, you saying I'm not afraid to defend myself isn't you being known to be a bully or trying to invite violence. Those are two fucking different things. That's like me saying I won't start it, but I will finish it. That doesn't make me a fucking criminal in that instance. That doesn't mean I premeditated anything. That just means I'm prepared for your bullshit. Like what? Ramirez's father came back in the question. Yeah. They seem to heavily focus on the father being in jail when it has nothing to do with this case. Not a fucking thing to do with this case. Ramirez explained as well, she doesn't agree with the verdict. Let's go from his wasn't. For his funeral. What? The defense also asked about the GoFundMe set up to help the family after Ramirez was killed. The defense claimed at least $50,000 was donated. Rios said she estimates they got $30,000. Who the fuck cares? Why is this being discussed in the case? What the fuck does it matter how much money they made after you killed their son? It's a GoFundMe. The fuck? Rios explained that the money went to pay for Ramirez's funeral and help with the family pay bills and stay afloat as they couldn't work after the tragedy. The defense asked if she bought a car with the money. Rios responded that they didn't, the question clearly offending her. Who the fuck cares if they did? Allison's attorney also asked Rios if she could forgive Allison, and Rios said absolutely not. The defense asked Rios, "You're not about justice, you're about revenge?" Maybe I'm missing something. If any of my lawyer friends are in the live, help me out. Maybe I'm missing something. What the fuck does any of that have to do with what Caden did? Or Kaysen, excuse me.
God bless you.
You're asking questions about revenge and GoFundMes that has nothing to do with the case. Do you expect someone, upon you killing their son, their brother, their nephew, whatever, to sit here and be like, I can forgive you, I can do this, I can do that, and then use that in the case? Get this. The defense asked Rios, "You're not about justice, you're about revenge? Vengeance isn't mine, it's God's," Rios said. The defense called their witnesses next. The first was Allison's dad. This is the white kid, James. The defense asked him how Kaysen has changed since the incident. He said that he's more serious. His father explained that he's concerned for his safety in prison. Imagine that. Imagine if we just let everybody off on lesser sentences because of what could happen in prison. Wow. Okay. The state didn't cross-examine. Why the fuck didn't the state cross-examine? Terry Oldham, Allison's counselor, testified that in the 3 years since she has watched Allison transform himself, she says she has seen an incredible increase in his ability to accept responsibility, and he has gained a lot of empathy. I don't think prison will benefit Kaysen, Oldham said. I'm done reading this. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm done. We're good. I don't give a fuck. That's the difference. Your mental health, your safety, all of those things matter only when you're fucking white. All of those things matter when you're white. When you're defending yourself in a stand your ground state, which Kaysen didn't have the privilege to lean on in the law because he literally planned the shit, you get 10 years. Homeboy, who said, "Don't fuck with me, leave me the fuck alone," and shanked your ass because you didn't want to stop, he gets 30 years. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And don't get me wrong, I initially had some I was initially reading some stuff about the Carmelo case, and I was just like, well, why the fuck was he this? Blah, blah, blah. That's not even the point. The point is, Texas can't even be consistent with its own laws. Texas can't be fucking consistent with its own laws because of race. Get the fuck out of here. Who are we gonna raid? Who are we gonna raid here? Man, that just grinded my goddamn gears. That just grinded my gears. What's up, Dev?
You know what they say. They always ask us what we can't do that they can do. It's
Get a
we
fair
can't
goddamn
unalive
trial.
a white man and claim self-defense like they can unalive a black man and claim self-defense. That's what they can do that we can't.
6,000%. Okay, so I have a couple people that have upcoming lives. There's no one on YouTube that is currently live, but Ari, I'm gonna send you guys to Ari, and the reason why is because she's doing a gubernatorial deep dive. She talked about this. It's a show where she and a couple co-hosts, they just get into the intricate details of a particular state's politics or a candidate. And this could be extremely beneficial to you if you not only live in that state, but if you're just a political junkie and you want to know more about select candidates, you can do that there. So I'm going to set it there. Once again, she's not live. It's upcoming. It's scheduled. So it should be in a couple of minutes where she'll start. But that's where the YouTube folks are going to raid. Man, that shit pissed me off. Just a political junkie. Man, that shit pissed me off. That vexed me. Thank you for making me aware of that, because I knew the name, I knew the instance, but I didn't know the details of it. I understood enough, but now upon reading this is straight fucking bias, dude.
Yeah, the Case and Allison case. It was the comparison to the Carmelo Anthony case, but one was premeditated, the other wasn't. One was a stand your ground. one was supposed to stand your ground. The other one was self-defense.
10 years for premeditated, 30 years for standing your ground. Sure, buddy.
Now that 35 was for being black. We know what it is.
That part. Phoenix, I saw your one that you sent at the beginning of the live and one you just sent now. I forgot to shout them out. Thank you so much for sending 2 memberships out to the random DEI members of the Hector Talks platform. I appreciate y'all. Please make sure you're checking out your perks. Friendly reminders that whether you're, also look up Alec Adamson. I'll save that name. If you're a TikTok super fan, a YouTube member, or a discount subscriber, you get a couple cool perks. We're working on the phone line part, but you do get a mano perk, which means if at any point in time a Trump supporter is pissing you off and you wanted to debate a mano for 5 minutes, you can do so as a subscriber. You also get an exclusive, unlimited discount to all merchandise off the merch shop with a permanent code. Alongside several other things. So make sure you're reading your perks. If you're going to throw money at me through these memberships, know what the fuck you're getting in for, okay? I like to give y'all cool shit when you support me. So W's in the chat to you, Phoenix, and thank you to the rest of you. Godzilla, thank you for the additional 20 super chat. Found the nail in the coffin. No way my friend can respond to this. Apparently there was evidence of a Snapchat voice note from Allison saying they have tried to fight multiple times and he'd send him to the hospital.
The keys were, the Snapchat conversation, the keywords was, I'm going to put him in the ICU when I see him.
Yeah.
There's another case you should look at, the one with the stepbrother and the stepsister.
What's up, Peach?
Where he unalived her on the cruise ship. You just say unalivement on cruise ship of stepsister and it'll pop up. He unalived the stepsister on the cruise ship, raped her and threw her underneath the bed, and he's out on an ankle monitor with the family.
Is that in Texas too?
I'm not sure, but
I'm just not surprised by Texas anymore. Loud cheers came from a Ramirez family, and the judge had to remind people in the gallery to not make outbursts of any kind. Why the fuck would I cheer 10 years on this bullshit? Fuck that. Fuck that. Justice was not served. Justice was not served at all. At all.
You see the comment section, my brother? They said they found the underwear inside the stepsister, and he out on an ankle monitor.
All right. Who are we going to raid on TikTok? That just vexed my soul.
They said Swan live.
Swan's live. If Ari's not live, we'll just raid Swan. Which account is she live on? She got so goddamn many now. Because she's not showing up for me. Give me a second. Which account is she live on? Ari's not live yet on TikTok. Let me go find her. She has so many accounts, bro. What account is she live on, y'all? I don't see it.
They said Santana live also.
I see him. Santana don't need no help. I raid people based on... Man, that nigga don't need no help. He'll be fine. Ari went off already? She has a live scheduled. She had one scheduled. Now I'm confused. I see Jessica's live. Oh, she's battling. See Joey's live. See African Knight is live. You know what? Go where the fuck you want. Go where the fuck you want raid. How about that? This is the go where the fuck you want raid.
Sweet Peaches is live also.
Sweet Peaches is live. Yeah. Go where you want. Go you want. Shout out to you guys for your love and support. Thank you guys for clearing out the gift gallery. I love it when we clear out the gift gallery earlier on in the week. So big W's to you guys for doing so. Special shouts to Left Jess for clearing out the rest of them. Big W's to you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, your memberships, your super chats, your super stickers, your donations, your follows, on other social media platforms as well. Because my Instagram's coming up, y'all. My Instagram is coming up on 40,000 followers. With like less than 400, I'm going to be at 40,000. That's probably going to pass my TikTok soon because TikTok is suppressing the fuck out of this shit. My videos do not do as well as they used to. They do not. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, make sure those of you are on here that you go over to YouTube and Instagram and you also follow me there. All same username, Hector Talks with 2 R's. Follow Dev. Dev hosts lives as well. He just does that shit late as hell. And I have rules now, bro. I try not to be on this app after a certain time. I'm getting old.
Listen, I get the best of the racist white folks late at night.
I know you get a specific Dev. So I have a rule, Dev. I'm not sure if you've heard it. I hate going live after or near 8 p.m. because I've noticed every single time after 8 p.m. I get the worst people. Like the kids, the degenerates, like the blank profiles, y'all just get coming up calling y'all niggers. That's the shit that I get like a large portion of it. Whereas when I go live earlier, I at least get more adults. They're still stupid, but they still try to have some form of a conversation before I put them in a corner. After 8, 12-year-olds, bro. 12.
The moon. Listen, the moon is at its best after 10 o'clock for me because that's whenever I get all the Arctic champions, all the cum monkeys, and they come inside my live and they start to rage and chimp the fuck out. So I get to the point where I just gotta hone in on my biases when it comes to them type of people.
I'll leave it for y'all. Y'all young folks, you know, y'all young folks, y'all got the energy for it. I'll leave it to y'all.
I think me and you around the same age.
Sir, I'm aspirationally 44.
I'm 36.
Are you actually 36?
Yeah.
Are you dead?
Born in 89. Born in 89.
No
Graduated college in 2012.
No, the fuck you weren't. No, the fuck you weren't. No, the fuck you ain't.
Yeah, I'm an oldie.
Bro, you don't look no goddamn 36.
Black don't crack. What you trying to say? You don't look no 44?
You're right, but... Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, I was surprised you ain't took a run in on that Case and Allison case. That shit is diabolical. Like them both being in Texas and him receiving 10 years, and he was originally only going to get 2. If it wasn't for the enhancement charge that the Supreme Court said had to be put in place, he would have only did 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Which is diabolical. Like, are we going to act like he just didn't premeditate all of that beforehand? He left the school and went and got the poker, bro.
What was the
left the school and got it?
It was poker, yeah. That's what I was reading here.
And then whenever they caught him, he had left the school and went home and called a buddy in order to come get him and take him elsewhere. He was going to flee.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That entire case is fucking crazy. Listen. Jess, can you just let me have fun? Yeah, so I'm 28. I'm 28. But I was born 30, okay? I've been an old man since I was a kid. So I just tell people I'm aspirationally 44. I'm aspirationally 44. I feel it in my knees. All right? My knees are 37. My lower back is 44.
Oh, you gonna hate 30.
My hairline's about 46.
You gonna hate 30, Hector. You gonna hate the 30s, bro.
My brain, I would say is 42. And all in all, if you combine the numbers and you give it like a median, aspirationally 44. That's what I tell people.
Look, Jess down there telling us we really gonna hate the 40s. I'm already hating the late 30s.
I hate my 20s. I don't like being young. There's nothing fun about being young, in my personal opinion. One thing I never understood as a kid is like how we as a society treat aging. I think aging is a beautiful thing, okay? First off, I'm gaining more, whether it's wisdom, whether it's money, whether it's stature, whatever. Like I'm gaining more as I get older. And especially for a sapiosexual, like I appreciate intelligence. Having more as time goes on, that shit is a fucking compliment to me. And it's a different generation. Like, I don't know, us at fucking 30 and 40, we don't look like our parents and shit like that. And we black, nigga? Listen, these 40, 50-year-olds, man.
You good with that? Like I said, black community, we good with age. We prosper very great when it comes to our looks, when it comes to age.
Drink your water. Eat your vegetables. Stay fit.
Take your vitamins.
Mind your black ass business. It takes you far. It takes you far. All right, we got to go. YouTube, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, your super chat, your super stickers, and memberships. Please make sure to hit the like button on the way out. We will be back tomorrow for tomorrow's live. It will be a little bit earlier. So I will see y'all then. But yeah, it's set to go to Ari's live. I don't even know what she's doing. Go wherever the fuck y'all want to. I don't care. I'll see y'all later.